practice?
I
don't
mean,
know.
it doesn't really matter. The board, once it flips over to the satellite, it becomes. There's a button that happens, which means this becomes inactive and nobody can, it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another button that flips back over when we go to local, where we get to control the board. So they zero it out, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, lucky news is this is a podcast, not a live show, so we can just get started right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
There you go.
Hey, welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. It's great to be here. Welcome to Annie and Elsten with you on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. The Fan. We're all together in our Odyssey studios overlooking sunny Murphy Canyon. Annie Halburn's here. I'm Craig Elsten, joined by Braden Soprennant in our Odyssey studios, ready to roll. 4 hours live, local San Diego sports, audio entertainment, bridging the gap between the Peoria ensconced Ben and Woods and a half Peoria bound winning Chris, Tony Gwynn in Peoria, and Chris Gwynn here. And I believe actually, Sandy joining the show this afternoon. So a lot of things coming. First. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Yeah, I enjoyed listening to Ben and Woods and all the interviews this morning. They had a ton of them, and enjoyed watching the Aztecs win their game last night. So good to be here to talk today. Braden, how are you?
Doing well. Got a workout in this morning. It's good
Nice.
stuff.
All right.
I got Jordan Love at the gym, getting some work in.
Nice.
With Brett Rippon and company. It's always fun to see those guys get after it. And ready to go for a Wednesday. I got to take care of my tire today, but aside from that, everything's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I revived it. I tell you, I revived it. I have one of those tire guns at my house.
Okay.
It's like 20 minutes to fill the tire up to the PSI it needed to be, and it survived the last couple of days. It was basically like giving CPR to a corpse, knowing that it was already, and so it was just like, okay, well, and then it worked out. So I was like, okay, I'll survive on this. Made an appointment for discount after the show today. Still have enough air in the tire to make it to and from. I've been driving out the last couple of days, so hopefully they can plug and we can go. But
some rehab.
If they can't plug, then I have to spend a lot of money on tires. But there's that. So I get to take care of that today.
There's an echo on the YouTube stream.
No more.
Okay.
Those people are delayed. Thanks for letting me know, though. We got it.
Echo.
Yep,
It's as
soon as I see the first echo, I flip it, and then there's going to be a slight delay, and then the echo is going to go away. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, we're excited to announce that we are a very pro-environmental show here on Annie and Elsten today, because 50% of today's program will be created with recycled material. And we're very happy about that, to be an eco-friendly sports audio program for you today. Why is that? Because, as you mentioned, Annie, Ben and Woods have just had a cavalcade of great interviews walk through the back patio. Those folks are off to practice fields now, but quite probably many of you weren't listening starting at 6 and barreling all the way through to 10 a.m. So we're going to be smart about it, and we're going to recycle some of the best stuff that happened earlier today on Ben and Woods. And we'll start, Annie, early in the show with stuff that was early in the show on Ben and Woods.
Makes sense.
Right? So like Joe Musgrove was on before 7 o'clock. Jake Cronenworth was on before 7 o'clock. Ruben Niebla was on in the early part of the show. In the first half of the program, you'll hear all of those interviews in their entirety in and around our Padres Deep Dive Hour, which will, of course, be at 11, like it always is. Then we'll do the 12 o'clock Sports Fix. We'll bring you Mike Schilt's managerial comments to the general press. He also was on with Ben and Woods today. But we'll bring you the Daily Schilt at 12:20. We'll play Match Game. We'll assemble the All-Star panel coming up at 12:40. At 1 o'clock, Sammy will join us live from spring training. So we'll get the today on the field report from Sammy around 1 o'clock. Find out everything that took place today. One of the things I know, because I just saw the video, Fernando Tatis Jr. back in the batting cages, back resuming baseball activity after being out like a week or so with the flu.
Yeah, looks good. Out there dancing, having a good time. I saw the beat reporters put video of him out there as well. So good to have him back.
Absolutely. And we'll again bring you all the color and sound of Padres spring training today, as only 97.3 The Fan can, because we're there. So we have the chance to do that for you. After the match game, and Sammy, we will have in the 1 o'clock hour the more recent interview that the boys did with Luis Ariz, which got rave reviews from everybody earlier today. So all of those interviews coming up today on the show. And if you didn't hear them earlier, as the old NBC rerun jingle ran, it's new to you. So several of those will be new to me. So I'm really excited to hear everything that the boys put together, courtesy of the Padres, of course. Great parade of guests coming through this morning. And then there's the Aztecs, and that's the other big thing to talk about today. San Diego State, I don't know about punching their ticket, but getting some redemption on that ticket for sure. Getting their parking validated for March Madness, if nothing else. With a big home win over New Mexico. More than anything else, probably reasserting Viejas Arena's ability to be a madhouse, to be a very, very difficult place to try and get the Aztecs to lose a second straight time. They basically don't do it when they get to circle the wagons at home. Yeah.
It was fun to watch last night, and what a win for them. And I know we'll get into it more, but just a little statement that they're not dead yet. Don't go ahead and push them aside yet. They're still fighting.
They can play their way to a lot better of a seed too, which is great. So that was a huge win for the Aztecs last night.
Absolutely. A momentum builder. We've been hoping for these, and now we're starting to see them for San Diego State. And coming off of the Utah State loss, this was a big one. We'll talk about it a lot more in our very next segment. Other things that we'll try to get to as the show goes along. Luka Doncic had his revenge game. He overdid it a little bit. He was, overshooting. I don't want to say overshooting. Only took 17 shots, but forcing, rushing, trying to hit some hero balls, and he still came up with a beautiful triple-double.
And Lakers won.
And the Lakers won. Absolutely. LeBron came in as the fourth quarter closer, and you're starting to see what it is to have these two generational players on the floor at the same time or able to play off one another, where neither one has to be the man for 4 quarters, but one of them can be the man at any point in any of the 4 quarters. It's getting exciting from a Lakers standpoint, certainly, Annie, because they look like a team that, the West is so loaded. They could be out in the first round, but they've got the ability. It's almost like the Padres going into last year's playoffs. Even Atlanta could have taken them out, but they've got the ability that you like the team. You like to back their ideas. Yeah, exciting for them. I can't say that I spent a ton of time watching the Lakers, but I did catch the highlights on SportsCenter. So looked like a good game, and very cool to have Luka there, part of it. LeBron always, for me anyways, I always respect LeBron and love watching him and what he can do even at his age. So pretty fun for Lakers fans out there. Indeed. Well, there's one in here.
I couldn't care less.
I know you.
I don't care.
You don't care. I know.
Not from LA. Don't care about the Lakers. Not going to talk about the Lakers. They took care of business against the Mavs, though.
They did,
that's kind of cool. I mean, good for Luka, I guess.
Probably had a little bit of stress for Luka, a little bit of nerves.
I'm pretty sure every Mavericks fan rooted for the Lakers last night. Nico got crushed again. How does that guy still have a job?
Yeah.
They should fire him now.
Thank you, Nico. The Lakers fans were chanting when Luka was at the free throw line.
As soon as Anthony Davis got hurt, dude, you're gone. All right, we're out of this. This ends now. You're fired. You get to keep your job as long as Anthony Davis plays. As soon as he gets hurt, you're fired. And that's what they should have done. Cuban was there last night. What's the deal with that? Does he have any?
He still has a minority interest in the team, but he's not a control owner anymore.
Right. And he was not happy about the move.
No.
I think he was rooting for Luka last night at the game.
For sure.
Yeah.
It never would have happened if Mark Cuban was still owning the team. There's just wouldn't have even been discussed.
No. He would have. He would have fired Nico just for the idea. He would have been like, "Yes, what? Get out."
No, I actually agree with that. I agree with that. It would have been this shocking thing. Like, why did the Mavericks just fire their general manager out of nowhere right before the trade deadline? Like, why did that happen? I don't understand. The answer is he tried to trade.
Mavericks really want to out him. It's a competition to see who can outdo Jerry Jones in the DFW area, and right now the Mavericks are doing it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The draft is, just wait for the draft. Sure. I'm sure Jerry Jones has a couple things up his sleeve and down his pants and down there, all that stuff.
Oh.
He's got that too. Just it's not as fun as AJ Preller's tricks up his sleeve.
Well, there's a call coming in from Irving, Texas on the board right now. Maybe
That's not. It's a telemarketer.
it's not him.
No.
That'd be fun.
It would have been worth it.
Yeah,
been
we
awesome,
would
yeah.
take that call.
Jerry
Glory
calls
hole.
in and I tell you,
Mhm.
we have a deal with Odyssey. That means we are a partnership of all
You're
Yeah.
Odyssey products.
supposed to take my call Wednesdays
Right.
at 10:15.
That's right.
Only nice things. Can only say nice things.
Is this 105.3
Yeah.
the fan? And no, it's not. This is the other fan station.
Uh-huh.
It's the sister station 97.3 the fan. Oh, my bad.
It's got a new intern. Just handing him the wrong numbers. It's all good.
Jerry, well, since we have you and we're the Padres
Mhm.
flagship, what do you think about the Padres and what do you think they need to go after as a
Yeah,
general
yeah.
manager yourself?
Oh,
That would be.
he'd have some comments.
Oh my
He'd
God,
have
he
some
would.
stuff to say.
That actually would be a
Yeah,
great.
that'd be
interview.
great. Yeah,
I
I
should
agree.
ask the Cowboys.
Do you think?
Hey, do you want to put Jerry on? We want to talk to Jerry about
Yeah.
being a general manager, but what his thoughts are on the Padres. We just think he's very entertaining.
Well, I mean, I
He might-
suggest
he might-
put it in an
He
email.
might come on.
See what happens. You could put it in an email.
Nobody loves Jerry more than Jerry.
When we come back, we'll dive into a big night last night at Viejas Arena as San Diego State wins what felt like a playoff game in some ways, not for New Mexico, but for the Aztecs. And they survive and advance and do so in style. We'll talk about it after this. Annie and Elsten are underway. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. 10:18 on the fan. Welcome back. Annie and Elsten here with you on a beautiful Wednesday.
It's gonna be a hot.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a hot weekend too, right? But then I heard rain at the end of the
Drops, like
weekend.
rain on Monday or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it's like hot the next 2 days, and then it
drops.
goes down like the 60s,
Hmm.
like low 60s. Yeah, we go high 77 today, high of 84 tomorrow,
Woo.
69 on Friday, 63 on Saturday,
Whoa.
and then Monday goes down to 59.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
chances
warm the
of
next few
rain.
days. Right. And then it's going to
Rain's very low though, but
get cooler. Right.
yeah, it cools down. I'm telling you, get the fall spring where you think summer's around the corner.
Yes.
And
it's
then
a
it's
tease.
like, ha, just kidding. Here's March, where it rains a lot in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was. I'm not going to try and make a rain segue. Let's just switch. It was raining. Never mind.
It's raining really hard
I could see
outside.
it. Right. It was raining buckets or
I need
something.
the-
Pulling up short. Don't want to get an early foul today.
I need the Matt Scraby rain ad that they used to run that I told you about last week.
Oh,
It's raining really hard outside right now. It's the middle of a segment. Just like he turns, he just wow, it's just raining really hard outside right now.
Oh man. Well,
So great.
late last night on Fox Sports 1, and if you read about it this morning with an impromptu color announcer, apparently Darren Collison didn't get an email. You see that?
I didn't. What? No.
So Trent Rush
So Trent's got the game.
was the
Right.
announcer on
Mhm.
Fox Sports 1 last night, and he was supposed to do the game with Darren Collison,
Mm-hmm.
who no-showed.
Why? What happened?
Apparently he didn't get the memo. It was like a scheduling
Oh,
mix-up,
no.
or he
Ugh.
thought he had a different game or a different day or
Ooh.
whatever, but no Darren
Mm.
Collison. So Casey Jacobson threw on a headset in their studios
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
realize
up in
Casey
Los
that.
Jacobson.
Angeles. Yeah. Wasn't he Torrey Pines? Was Casey Jacobson?
No, he played Stanford.
Went to Stanford. I
Way
know
to
that.
come in clutch.
But yeah.
yeah.
So he wound up, calling it on remote, COVID style.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch from the beginning, though. So maybe it was that. Like,
I don't even know if they
I don't know.
did it. Of course, I
Yeah.
forgot about it at the start, so I have no idea if they did a stand up or not.
wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, the game in front of him was 5 minutes left by
Yeah.
the time the tip happened. So
Yeah,
the Illinois, was it Illinois, Iowa or something?
as always.
We talked about it before. We talked about it yesterday. I said, all right, here's the game that's going to go way too late
Right.
because for some reason, TV thinks that a 2-hour window is good enough for a men's college basketball game.
It's obnoxious to me.
I have never gotten a game done in 2 hours, and the games that we do are on ESPN Plus with not nearly as much
Right.
advertising as all the games on television.
Wait, I just need to pause and then we can come back to SDSU and go back to this later. But
Sure.
Luka Doncic. Doncic. Do I say it right?
Doncic.
Doncic.
You could just call him Luka.
Luka, right. Thanks. He's paying for parking, a full parking lot. He paid for parking yesterday, paid for like the whole parking lot for fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
That is cool.
It's a Luke a lot.
He's cool.
They already love him there. He doesn't even need to do anything.
He did all that
extra.
stuff for the Fires and like putting new basketball courts up and like $500,000 for the LA Fires and,
Yeah.
and then purchased a whole parking lot so fans could park free there last night. That is pretty cool.
I mean, it's not cheap to park at
No.
Staples Center.
It's not cheap to
Free
park
parking
anywhere.
courtesy of Luka and Jumpman. So his deal with Nike, but pretty cool.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
like the helpful Honda dealers.
It is.
So Nike paid for it.
They put up a whole sign. I don't know. Maybe he put some in from his. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's just marketing. Still, then good on Nike.
Still,
Pretty
it
good,
is.
yeah.
It is. They had a great commercial they debuted right before the game on TNT. Did you see that?
No, I
I'll put it up
Yeah,
later
okay.
in the fix.
All right.
I'll put it later in the fix. But they Nike dunked on the Mavs. Like, just
Trolled.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, but that was a good pause. All right, so back to San Diego State. New Mexico comes to town. You don't have Magoon Guath. You just lost at Utah State. It'd be very easy to doom and gloom last night's game, which was on too late. And I couldn't agree with you more, Braden. They've got to start putting 2.5-hour windows
I don't know why
for
they
these
don't.
games.
Yeah. They're always going over. It doesn't make sense. Why
On
not
every
just
network.
make it that long? Right.
It's on ESPN. It's on
And then you've got to
CBS,
find
it's
it or
on-
wait
yeah.
or it's annoying.
And then
Right.
everybody, or maybe they just do it so you have to download their app.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, in this
Yeah.
day and age, that could literally be what it is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? The game's starting on Peacock.
Mhm.
Tune into Peacock.
Right.
Yeah,
Go
it could be
download our
that, for
thing,
sure,
watch the
yeah.
first
Download
5
the
minutes,
Fox
Yeah.
Sports app.
And
You
I'm
can
telling
watch it on the
you,
Fox Sports app.
I got a friend that will pay for every single streaming service that his team is on for no reason, including bad ones like Flow Sports. So
Yeah.
he gets suckers like my buddy Mike that will do it for all of his teams. It's like, dude, don't pay the $25 a month for Flow Sports. You cannot watch them for one game. It's totally fine. But then he'll go and buy them all. And it's like, oh, it's starting on Peacock. Let me go purchase Peacock for the first 3 minutes of this contest. So maybe that's why they do it like that. It's like, why have 2.5 hours where we have a studio show in between where we can have people download our app and pay for our streaming service to watch the beginning of their games?
Kind of scrabatorial, but I'll accept it.
It's not
I'll
crazy.
accept it. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
In Scrabistan, that is considered common law, what you just said.
Is Scraby going to be part of the match game today?
I don't know. It depends if he shows up.
It depends on if Adam, who's gonna
good point. Those two are kind of
who's gonna
rivals
fight
now.
each other, right? Yeah.
Because
I don't know if
Greg,
Scraby's ever gonna have a chance again.
I don't know why, but Greg is kind of just like
Greg's in.
Exactly. He's gotten the Richard Dawson treatment. Like he's just on the panel. Like, he's on every time. And then the other two guys, they either need to Rochambeau for it or, I mean, Adam has obviously managerial powers. He could just instruct Scraby to do something and then show up. But
we'll see.
We digress.
That's a great win for the Aztecs.
It really was.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Boyd has turned into a big time asset for this club. The things I was talking about with Jeppe Tverskov the other day, that's what I would say about Boyd. He is handling the tempo of the team. He knows when to hit the accelerator. He knows when the ball needs to be in his hands, and he needs to be the one that's assertive. He knows when he needs to dish it and get other guys involved. I was really impressed with the tempo of what San Diego State did last night. Yeah,
Boyd, 17.7 rebounds, 6 assists in 34 minutes. They avenged their loss. I was reading in the UT how Miles Heide said, let's go punk them. Let's go bully the bully, since they had lost to Albuquerque earlier this season. This is what you needed to see from them. If you're looking for them to show the committee and show everybody that they're still, like I said, not dead, that they're very much alive and they're fighting for a spot. You did it without Magoon Guath. And now if you're the committee and you get to look at, well, he's not out for the rest of the season. I mean, he should be able to come back. And they're able to play with the urgency, the sense of urgency that they had last night and the intensity against a really good team. This bodes well for them, hopefully, if they can continue to kind of ride this ride and show who they are at this level.
Yeah, and the way that the bigs for San Diego State stepped up, you mentioned, Farrell Compton, Jared Coleman-Jones, these guys really did.
They were great.
They did what they had to do last night. They got 6 block shots. They made the rebounding battle not a total overwhelming Lobos nightmare. They trimmed the offensive rebound chances. All the things that we talked about yesterday, they pretty much executed at night. And it's, you have Donovan Dent out there. He's a great player. He was assertive. He found his way. He did put his stamp on the game.
Yeah.
And certainly, was pushing the Lobos back into it.
I saw some fear a little later in the second half, from some fans wondering if they were going to let the Lobos back in too much.
Because the Aztecs are the Aztecs. Maybe
and they're missing Magoon Guath.
They are, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
No matter who the Aztecs have had,
Yeah.
even Kawhi's teams would go 5 minutes without a basket.
Yeah.
Like it's just an Aztec staple,
Right.
is that there's going to be 5 out of 20 minutes where they just don't score a basket. And it's what happens to their lead. It's of course going to be whittled down, but how much, how fast,
how that defense holds up, which it usually does. But we've seen this year, sometimes, it creeps up on the Aztecs and then they're just not able to overcome the resurgence from whatever team they're playing. So did their part last night. And like you said, those guys that you mentioned really stepped up, which is what you needed. You needed to show that they could do it with the adversity and their backs against the wall. It doesn't assure them anything, right? But what does it depend on these next 3 games and how the other teams do over their final 3 games, right? Well, no. It kind of depends on the next 3 remaining games: Wyoming, UNLV, and Nevada. So essentially, what if they win 2 of the 3?
Here's what I would say: the Aztecs now are in a position where I would expect them to win every one of those games, because
that'd be the best case scenario.
because they're no longer doing the weeble wobble.
Yeah.
that we've seen. And yes, of course, they could go to Elevation on Saturday, and they could stub their toe at the Arena Auditorium.
What's a lamer name? Arena Auditorium or Dome of Doom? It's the name
Arena
of
Auditorium.
It's the name for the same place.
Yeah. The Arena Auditorium. For some reason, I like it because I hate it so much.
Yeah. It's like so generic. Like if you just called it like the stadium
Dome
or something.
of Doom.
Yeah.
It's the Arena Auditorium.
Yeah. Sushi Sam in the chat says those are 3 bad teams. Yes. The
One of them
Aztecs
beat
need
you
to
at
take
home.
care of business against them, don't they?
Well, that's my point. I
They
feel
do.
like
they can't drop all 3 to be
Exactly.
if they did happen to drop one, they probably could still be
I
okay.
agree.
So on the sense of what could they do, I totally do agree with you. But what I think they will do, I think we've seen them put the line in the sand. I think they crossed that line when they beat Boise. The Utah game suffered an injury. They were out, in Utah. That was a tough game. It was a game that they weren't counted on to win. They came home and they took care of business without Guaf. Now they get a chance to continue, carry the momentum that they have built.
And against those lesser teams, you've got to come with that same sense of urgency. You got to come with that same intensity. You've got to look at now, here on out, as you're playing into the tournament essentially, and you want to be playing your best basketball.
That's it.
They go 2-1, they'll front. They're in.
Yeah.
I agree, but
Yeah,
I
They're
think
probably already
loss,
in.
yeah,
But if they go
right.
2-1, they're definitely in. I mean, because people in the chat are like, they lose one game, they have to win.
Do they
the
need to
tournament. No, they
dominate
don't.
these next? Do they need to when they win? Do they need to win by
No,
a lot?
they just need to win.
All right. Well,
I agree.
Now they're in a point where they just need to win. It doesn't really. They're just just getting through the end of the season.
Good place for them to put themselves in.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, what did the numbers do? You mentioned
They jumped in the RPI. The net updates on Sunday, so we'll see. But they jumped in the RPI 7 spots. So we're up to 36 now in the RPI, which is really good. 4-5 in quad 1, 4-1 in quad 2. Now with some of these, they get moved around a lot, right? Because of these teams. And there's some teams that are on the fringe right now that could help you out with quad games. So, Utah State is close to jumping into the top 30 in the net, which would help them for quad 1 status. Teams like Boise State at 47, kind of close, but not really. But there's a lot of teams that can impact those quad numbers by the way they play. The other one's like Oregon, but they're a neutral site, so they get more credit for that game than if it was a home game, again with the ranking system. But the biggest game for them right now, and the one that's helped them the most, is beating Houston. November 30th has been a huge asset to the Aztecs, and the more Houston wins, which they continue to do, the better it is for San Diego State, and the more that happens, the better it is for UCSD as well.
Viejas was rocking last night.
It was, but I want to say the student section is kind of lame now.
What?
What?
It's lame. It's like there's like
Shots
3 in a row. I'm
fired.
gonna take shots at the end.
You're gonna take such shots right now.
You know what? If it gets them going, then fine.
Wait, why so? I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. I guess, but I wasn't looking.
It's not like it was when I used to go.
When you and Paulie Reindl were there?
I never went to San Diego State, but
Oh.
when I was in
Arizona,
college,
TCU, remember all the teams that clowned USD while USD was paying them
that's
for the
right.
privilege?
Well, that was kind of a weird shot at USD baseball. I don't know what you got against Brock Unkrich.
No, I love it, man. I wonder what you have against Brock Unkrich. I
had
mean,
nothing.
0-7 on your watch.
But-
is all I'm saying.
What's going on? So just they don't have the same passion, the same creativity. They're not coming with the same fire.
Oh my God, Sushi Sam agrees with you.
Yeah, he says
All the
it's
Aztec
not
fans
good.
agree.
Yeah.
The energy is coming from the people that pay to be there,
Where's
and not
Guy
from the
Fieri?
students. The student section at San Diego State the last couple of years has been NyQuil. It's been boring. It's just been like, what are we doing? This used to be great.
Did you notice this when you went?
The first 3 rows are trying their best, but after that, it's just like
I guess
they're on their phones. They're not really paying attention.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
I remember going to games
Attention spans
5
lower.
years when I was in college, and I'd visit my friends, and we'd sit in the student section. You had to fight to get a seat,
And you were locked in.
Yeah.
and you there was not a
in.
single
the
spot.
fans. Yeah.
Right, like you had to stand the whole time.
You couldn't afford to be not paying attention
Right.
because someone else
They'd
would
be like, "Get out,
yes,
get
exactly.
out." And now it's just
Yeah.
like
more like a supporter section.
Yeah.
there's 5. There's like 5 diehard people or kids in the show,
Yeah,
and
the
then
front row
everybody else
guys.
is just kind of there.
Maybe now that they expect the Aztecs to kind of get to the tourney and be good, maybe it's more of just like a
Yeah,
show
I don't know.
thing.
Maybe
I
some
wanna blame Gen Z.
entitlements.
Brandon
Can I
says
blame
the
Gen Z?
students
I
are-
would blame Gen Z
Brandon in
too.
the chat says the students are the same anymore. COVID changed a lot, I think. I would agree with that.
It has nothing to do with the
You don't
football
think it's
team not being
COVID?
competitive.
I'm going to blame Gen Z.
I do blame
Okay,
Gen Z for that
okay.
because even like the high school student
Just there for the
sections,
photos.
I remember
exactly.
going to
Over everything.
I
Gen
remember
Z's
going
just
to-
over everything. Oh, you like that? I don't like it.
the Saints Cathedral game used to be fun with the student sections, and like now they don't even say anything funny anymore. It used to be good. Now I think a lot of administration oversight is on the high school level, but I agree. I think it's a Gen Z problem.
Step it
the
up,
show is not nearly what it used to be. You wonder why they're losing games at home. It's not the same kind of level of atmosphere.
Kids these days.
Everybody else is bringing the energy. I don't know what the show's doing. And this is the same student section that went after Mark Ziegler for like years back in the heyday. They used to boo him when he showed up because I think he made a couple comments. So
now they don't know who he is because they don't know what newspapers are.
Exactly.
It's very true.
They're like, wait, is that
very true?
Can I
Is
find
it a
that on
podcast?
TikTok?
Is
we
it
got to
YouTube?
step up the game.
Yeah. Does he have a TikTok channel?
Yes.
If not, why not?
Step up the game. They need to
So
step up
true.
their game. I feel bad for the 5 kids in the front that are doing they're helping the ball club. They're trying their best. The guy with the
They're doing their
basketball
part.
mask,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That guy's never graduated. That guy's
Right.
been there for like 10
Oh
years.
yeah. Well, that's what I remember when I was
Perry
down there
Ellis,
all
dude.
the
That
time.
guy's, he's got tons of eligibility.
That's
left.
what I remember from the quote unquote
Keeps
heyday of the
redshirting.
show. Is I remember some 9th year seniors,
Yeah.
like some
Oh, yeah.
11th year seniors that were down.
They used to be
Yeah,
rowdy.
yeah.
They used to do like cool things during the
But you're
intro.
supposed to pass on the tradition. The tradition is supposed to
Yeah.
uphold to the next generation of students, and doesn't seem like it has
Like,
exactly.
dude, you're 35. Why are you
Hey,
in the
I-
show?
You know what? And it's not just me. I'm not even an alum. I don't really care. But I'm just pointing out facts from alum that are upset. Sushi Sam says when you got alums louder than the show, it's embarrassing. I mean, Sushi Sam last night on the court is slapping the floor and getting a defensive stance during the game. That's passion. I don't know what the show's
It's
doing.
a little too much passion. Let's
It
be
is,
honest.
but you know
Sam,
what?
you're not playing.
You know what, though, Craig? He has to do it because the show's not getting their job done.
Got it.
He's got to make up for it.
Wow.
All these kids are in the
Wow.
15th row playing Fortnite.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
The alumni.
Get off your phones.
The alumni
Uh,
are gassed. They had to do it when they were students. They shouldn't have to carry it anymore. Exactly.
Huh?
Sam's on it. Someone has to do it.
Someone got to do it.
And you know what?
no cap.
They got one more chance to show out
Derek
on March
Hall.
8th.
Yeah. Derek Hall needs to go do this is why I need to be part of the show.
That's
You want
right.
to be fire? Okay.
That's right.
My what did he say? My queen? What does he say?
Slay
The aura?
queen.
Slay Queens. We need the Derek Hall
We do.
pep talk to
We
the
do.
show.
Where's
I don't
the
know what
aura?
they're doing.
Negative aura.
Negative
points.
aura for the
Negative
show.
aura
Yeah.
points.
Negative
Holy cow.
aura.
On a night that they won, the show just not just taking arrows,
I
like
don't want
flaming
now,
arrows.
like,
Yeah,
From
fatheads.
as they
Sopranos.
should.
I don't want the
As
show
they
to show
should.
up with like fatheads of
They
us.
are.
With,
You know
like,
what they're looking like? They're looking like the
tears running down our faces.
They're
or
looking
something.
like the TCU student section for basketball, and that is lame. It's boring.
Sam, though,
Aztecs used to be great.
Sushi Sam got to simmer down now, though, in the chat. Like, you're going to, like, trip a dude coming down the wing
Yeah.
on a fast
He's
break.
gonna Mike Tomlin somebody.
Yeah, seriously.
whoops.
Like,
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're taking it a little too far when you're getting in your Wojnarowski stance there. You're like, well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
in the
right.
stance.
They got to do it for Ted.
Oh yeah, this is Uncle Teddy's
Uncle
last
Teddy's last
one,
home
right?
game
Yeah.
is March 8th against Nevada.
Yes.
Oh man.
The show's got to show up and show out.
Yeah.
That's their last chance.
They should
Otherwise-
come with the Uncle Teddy. Like, don't they have
You'd have
paraphernalia?
to teach the kids who he is.
Oh, they
on
gotta know who
campus.
he is. You don't think they know who he? You don't think
The
they're
18-year-olds
dialed
have
in?
no idea.
Oh man.
He just put out a tweet that
That's like them not knowing who Hassan Kim is. Like it's like the same thing.
Yes.
I don't know.
All right.
Ted put out a tweet on Saturday when they were at Utah State. Some Utah State student was like, "Are you Uncle Teddy?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like,
Oh,
he was a kid
no.
from San Diego that was a diehard Padres guy.
I love
and
that.
couldn't wait to talk to Uncle Teddy. So it's an excuse for the Aztec fans, for the students there, Craig, because the
Right.
Utah State kids know who he is.
Hmm.
That's the thing, right? They
He's
do.
a
What
legend.
about you?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a time out.
Negative aura to the show.
Negative
Oh
aura.
wow.
When we come back, a guy with positive aura and positive all the other stuff. Joe Musgrove was
Oh,
on with
Joe.
Ben and Woods.
Awesome.
This morning, we'll hear what they had to chat about
Mhm.
right after this. Annie and Elsten on the Fan. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fans, presented by T-Mobile. Head to T-Mobile.com. Get a great deal on an iPhone 16 Pro. All right. 12? Well, we can play part of it. Let's bring you some of Ben and Wood's spring training coverage.
We might have some shorter ones.
Yeah. Well, we could juggle things around. If Crony's shorter, we could...
I think the Cronenworth one is short.
All right, let's go there then.
Let me get the official total there from our boy Frank.
Okay. What we're doing on the show, for everyone who's just wondering while we shuffle pieces around on the board, is that we're presenting some of the interviews that happened early in the show on Ben and Woods while you might have been asleep.
Yep, he's 10 minutes.
Perfect. All right. Let's knock it out. Let's hear what Jake Cronenworth had to say early in the show today with Ben and Woods.
The other end of the extreme, the great Jake Cronenworth never avoids us. He always sits down with us. Crony, welcome back to the program. It's only been a few weeks since we sat with you. How are you? Get his mic popping. There we go. Benny, that's all you do.
I thought Paulie had
You
it.
got to
on.
get that mic on.
I'll take your word for it that it's Jay Cronenworth. I'm staring directly into the sun, so I got no idea who's sitting there. No, you're good.
No, you're
no,
fine.
sit right there. You're good.
You're
on
fine.
camera so everyone back home can see you. I'm of least concern here. But, well, we talked to you at FanFest, so this is a nice soft landing for us just to catch up on how you've been the last, I don't know, what has been, about 4 weeks since we saw you?
Yeah, something like that.
How's camp going?
It's been good, man.
Yeah?
I mean, it's been smooth. It's been refreshing. It's the same group of guys,
Yep.
same coaching staff, and everything's going really well.
And some of the new guys coming in, swinging it pretty well, man. Always kind of fun to see. I can't wait to ask Schulte about this too. And you could probably speak to it. You know, you hear all the time, and we in the media certainly talk about, oh, man, there's this competition, this open competition for left field, or maybe, there's going to be some room at catcher and guys can really make a name for themselves. You've kind of been part of those competitions. How does that work for the player? You know, we know how we view it in the media, but for the player, how does it work?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, like, you're coming into camp and, like, you're going to play a lot early on.
Yeah.
Like, I think you've seen, like, Eggy.
Yeah.
Like, he's played almost every game.
Yep.
I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, playing again? And I'm like, no, it's good. Like, you're getting opportunities and doing your thing.
He's making the most of them too.
Exactly.
And that's the really fun part to see it. It kind of blew my mind when I found out he's like the longest. He's been in this organization longer than anyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we found that out the other day.
surprising.
He's been here a while, and obviously has a lot of talent. And when they do something where they move you from a position that you're used to playing and ask you to play a different position, that's a whole nother layer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, whether I know he played left field a couple days ago, and he's been playing third, played some second. I think he may have DH'd one game, but no, I mean, it's, they're not easy days because you're working on those different spots. You're taking fly balls in left field, even though you may be playing third in the game or whatever you may be doing. But no, I mean, it's good. It helps you get comfortable at whatever spot is maybe new for him, which is, kind of that left field spot.
Yeah.
Jake, I think we talked a little bit about it at FanFest, but the difference between last year and this year in terms of having Mike Schild and almost all of his coaching staff back, you're not getting ready to go to Korea and kind of accelerating everything. What's the different feeling this year compared to last year at this time?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of our first real spring training since, I don't even know, 2021 maybe?
That's right.
And no, it's been refreshing. It's nice. It's, guys have their schedules. You know what days you're playing. You know what work you're getting in that morning if you're not in the lineup. And just kind of the cohesiveness between the guys and the coaching staff has been awesome.
Okay, we got Jake Cronenworth here with Ben and Woods this morning. Give me your favorite part of spring training, like as far as the work and stuff goes, and then give me the worst part. Give me the one where you're like, oh my god, it's got to be base running, isn't it?
What did you say? Base running?
The worst, right?
We do a pretty good job.
It's like make it fun.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not you or me. We hate running. Obviously,
running.
We make it intentional and like it's quality work, so it's not like you're not getting gassed. But no, it's good. I mean, it's not anything that you dread doing. I would say the funnest part about spring training, I mean, like those first few days are always so fun, like re-seeing everybody and, being back out on the field and getting back in the swing of things.
Literally.
Literally. I don't know, the worst thing, getting sunburn.
Yeah, it's very just dry.
Jake, you are very fair skinned.
Yes. He's got that Rindle skin
Yeah,
on him.
yeah,
Dude. Yeah,
yeah.
it just zaps you. The minute you get out of here, your lips get chapped, your face gets all dry.
Your nose gets blocked.
Your nose
up,
gets blocked up.
or everybody's like, the first couple weeks, even now, like, everybody's getting sick.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting sick. So
Oh, dude.
it's like one guy gets it and then 4 guys get it and then everybody's got it.
Yeah, you forget it's a little bit like a barracks in there. You know what I mean? You got 60 guys kind of running around. There's no way around it. Oh man, that's tough.
So I don't know if you remember, but at FanFest, you made a request for the next time that you were going to join the program.
Yes. Do you remember the request?
You said you wanted to do some trivia.
Oh, yeah.
We got you.
Yeah,
All right,
so
let's
go.
I got you.
Perfect.
He does his musical trivia every single day, but I thought, I don't know what kind of musical expert is Jake. So I've got a mystery category, 5 questions, 60 seconds.
Okay.
Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you what the theme is, but you'll figure it out as you go. So if you are not sure of an early one, you can pass.
As long as it's not music or movies.
It's not music. There
Oh.
is a movie question or two,
Okay.
but I don't know. We'll see if you can figure it. So you can pass and then figure it out as we go
Okay.
because the theme will kind of work itself out. So Frank, back in the studio, if you put 60 seconds on the clock,
Okay.
Better speed through it.
your time begins when I start the first question. Good luck, Jake.
Take on Crone.
Take on Crony. Here we go. Which back-to-back Cy Young Award winner in 2018 and 2019 began his college baseball career as a shortstop at Stetson University?
Jacob deGrom.
Correct.
Wow.
Which actor was nominated for an Academy Award for his portrayal of Jack Twist in the 2005 film Brokeback Mountain?
Ooh.
You can pass.
Pass.
All right.
Which boxer and rival of Sugar Ray Robinson was nicknamed Raging Bull? Pass.
I wasn't even alive.
That's right. Actor Kevin Miles plays which friendly insurance agent in a series of commercials often seen during sporting events, including the Super Bowl?
Mayhem.
No.
Who's the guy?
Yeah.
No, the name of the character.
The character is
Oh.
Jake from State Farm.
Oh.
Which 1990 movie does Tim Robbins play a Vietnam veteran who returns home only to devolve into madness after suffering from disturbing hallucinations?
He hasn't picked up on the category.
He hasn't picked up in the category.
Are these all Jake?
Yeah.
They're all
Yes.
Jakes.
Yeah.
You got it
There we
now.
Okay, it's
Time's up.
It's Jake.
Oh.
It's Jake. It's
You got
Jake.
Jacob
The answer's
deGrom,
Jake.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake
Gyllenhaal.
LaMotta, Jake from State Farm, and Jake Jacob's Ladder. So
Jacob
that was
Ladder's
all.
an old.
That's an old one, yeah.
It's
That's
an
before
old-ass
that's
movie.
before Jake's time, but there weren't a lot of
A lot
Jacob
of those were
movies.
before my time outside
They
of
were.
State Farm and deGrom.
That's fair. That's fair.
You got deGrom though. That was
So-
good right away.
If you had done baseball trivia, I would have been.
Well, you're a baseball player.
That's easy. It's baseball trivia. You got that right away. Jacob deGrom. I didn't realize he was a shortstop.
Yeah.
You know,
Not
wanted to be a
surprised.
pitcher. You were a shortstop.
You ever
Kind of
face
wanted
him?
to be a pitcher.
Oh yeah.
How's he?
Tough.
Nasty.
Yeah.
So nasty. I bet. When he's out there, he's the one
Do
with
have one
nasty.
hit off him though. There we
You got a knock off him?
one hit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love that you guys remember that too. I guess if I got a hit off Jacob deGrom, I'd probably remember it. There's one of those that sticks in your memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the swing feeling? How's everything feeling?
Feel good.
Body feels good.
Yeah. Everything
Good.
feels great.
Man, we're excited for the season. For you guys too. Like, just it's kind of cool. Like we talked about. There's always a ton of new faces in and out. Like, who's impressed you so far? And I know you said you were talking to Eggy, but some of the other guys that are kind of the new guys.
Guy that's impressed me so far. Man, there's some really good young pitchers that we have. I haven't.
Is it Bradley or Bradgley?
Bradgley?
It is
It
Bradgley.
is Bradgley.
Okay, because there's a
Bradgley
C in his
Rodriguez.
name. But
Yeah.
It's spelled Bradgley.
Yeah,
He's nasty.
I faced him in a live BP, my first live BP, which probably wasn't a good idea because he's throwing 97, and I was like 2 weeks ago. Like, they're like, hey, show up when pitchers and catchers. I got here, and it was like, all right, live BP against Bradgley. Now he looks really good, and he's it's a really good arm with a good changeup, and I think he's working on some other stuff. I haven't seen him throw yet, but Braden Nett.
Yeah, heard a lot of good things about him
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, there's a lot of really good young arms in there that hopefully can make an impact at some point.
it's
All right, Jake Cronenworth. Got to cut it because we got the break coming up. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was struggling on Jake LaMotta.
You did better at the game.
Yeah.
If you would have been his lifeline, he would have been
Right.
fine.
Yes.
But You can't blame Jacob John. I mean, he wasn't alive for most of those.
That's
Even if he
true.
could have guessed Jake, I don't think he would have known what comes after that.
Yeah.
So,
It's been a long time since I watched Raging Bull.
yeah.
It's one of the great
Yeah.
movies of all time. But
you had those answers.
Yeah, Jake LaMotta. But I was like, Jake, I know it's a Jake.
But good for him to sit down and do that. And, it's good to see him so comfortable. I think it was important what he said about, like, they're all back. This is a regular spring training.
Yeah.
You got most of the team back, pretty much all the coaching staff back. You just kind of get to roll on from what you did last year, which is probably a good feeling.
I tell you what, I've been getting more and more excited about the team.
Yeah.
The more that you just hear from the guys.
Yep.
And you realize how good a team this was last year.
Mhm.
Dodgers wanted to run to every microphone and say, that's the best team. And then, you lost Profar, you lost Higashioka, you lost Tanner Scott. You can rebuild from that.
Yes.
It's not like those are Trout and et cetera. You can rebuild from that.
Yeah.
Padres are rebuilding. We're into the Padres Deep Dive Hour coming up next. Plenty more, including Ruben Niebla and Joe Musgrove as we continue. All right, it's Padres Deep Dive Hour. Welcome to it. This hour on 97.3 The Fans brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box's new crispy boneless wings have so much more crunch than the competition, you won't be able to think about soggy nugs again.
Soggy
Oh,
what?
man. I was just thinking about soggy nugs last night.
What?
Huh?
He draws the foul.
Put the balls on the tree. Jack in the Box's new crispy boneless wings.
You'll
No
never
more
think about those soggy nugs again.
No soggy
Yeah.
nugs.
So
Mhm.
munch more crunch.
Does it actually say munch?
It says munch.
Wow. I thought
I
maybe
did
that was just
I
a slip of the
did
tongue.
not
Okay.
make that up. As
So
bad
awesome.
of a dad sense of humor as I have, even I would not have done
Do
that.
you think Dave Marcus wrote that?
No.
Does he
No.
write those? Okay.
No, I
all
think
right.
Jack in
puts
the
it on
Box
the
wrote that.
sheet, but he
Okay.
definitely does not write
He
that.
copy pasted that right from the
Oh,
Jack in the
wow.
Box email.
Hmm.
Is what he did.
Are you going to have to read it every day? Because I feel like you're going to.
Probably.
I feel like the
It's
faster you read
highly
it, the
likely.
more entertainment for us that might happen. You
So
know,
munch more
because you have to
crunch.
really watch your words for that
Saucy.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nugs.
So much more crunch.
soggy nugs.
Soggy, that's right. Saucy's
Yeah.
the Wendy's thing.
Yeah,
They're
no
competing with.
saucy
If,
nugs.
if you got soggy nugs, you got a problem.
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
Sometimes it can be hot in Florida. The humidity
Mhm.
Double T.
Mhm.
leads to some soggy nugs.
Well,
He
I
draws
want to
the
get that
foul.
looked at.
Fouls. Foul on
Mhm.
foul on foul.
Mhm.
It's your fault,
They
Jack.
put
in
the
Box.
fourth line out there in hockey.
You guys did this.
Braden literally said in the last break, he's like, I can't wait for Craig to read this liner.
This is going to be
This
great.
is going to be
It's
great.
gonna be
Yeah.
a foul on the liner. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Our guy Jack,
Just walking right into
chock
it.
full.
Oh, okay. It's the Padres Deep Dive Hour. Let's start with some spring training
Deep dive.
news and views, so on and so forth.
Deep dive in the soggy
Mhm.
nugs.
Absolutely. And then we're going to get into some more sound from earlier this morning from the back patio with Ruben Niebla and Joe Musgrove
Cool.
coming up in this hour. Now, yesterday, the Padres dropped one at home to the Angels. 2-1 the final, 2-0 into the ninth when Leo DeVries hit one off the wall.
Yeah.
Is it time for a players only meeting?
Not quite yet.
This is a couple in a row.
Is there
now.
panic?
Yeah, are we panicking now?
Panic on Bell
Remember,
Road.
what is it, 2023, when there was like a players only meeting like every other week?
There's like four of
yeah,
them.
there's like so many.
And you know it's bad when it starts that early in the
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great, Bob.
When
You got
yeah.
you have one
Uh,
chance at a players only meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing it in April or
I
May,
agree.
the season
I
is
agree.
lost. Or they
I
just
couldn't
turn it
agree
around.
more. Oh, you know, we're off topic, but I remember specifically when I knew that the 2023 season was in big trouble, and it was
Players meeting number 2, 3, or 8.
it was. I'm going to tell you exactly when, because if you remember, 2022, Bob Melvin's first year as manager,
Yeah.
things were going merrily along, and then in late August they had an extended fade.
Mhm.
And then Bob Melvin came out in a press conference in Arizona and he was stern. Like he fired his bullet. Like he's
Yeah, he did it. He did it with the players. He had his one moment,
Mhm.
his one like flip the tables moment. He didn't literally
Right.
flip the tables, but like
He
that
should've.
kind of moment where he kind of imparted that on the team.
he laid
Yeah.
into the team.
Yes.
And the team then went on a roll, not the very next game, but like the next 9 games, they won like 6 out of 8
Yeah.
After dropping the first one. And the team went on from there to win 89 games and go to the NLCS. So he fired that bullet and it worked. It was like he had that one shot. He did it. It worked. The team turned around. In 2023, the Padres went to Minnesota in May. It's like middle May. They went to Minnesota and they had a really dispirited loss in the first or second game, and he fired his bullet. In May, instead of late August, he fired his bullet, and the team went out and played its worst baseball, like the next 5 games.
Well, Bob, I think Bob was trying to change it up a little because Bob is the one who knows you only have but so many bullets. You maybe have 1 or 2 and that's it, you know? And so that's why he waited so long in 2022. Well, they were doing all right. And then, you got to wait for that right moment. It is a fallacy. I think that there's people out there who think, and I get it. I understand because you see all the movies that a coach, a manager that's yelling at you all the time is what you want. Like a player, players need managers up their butt all day long and telling them what they need to be doing and like yelling at them, this and that. That is the quickest way to lose a clubhouse. That is the quickest way to lose your players. So you have to have that finesse of like, sometimes dropping things to certain players so they tell the rest of the clubhouse, or knowing when to have your, push the tables over moment. But to want that manager who is always like, up, always yelling at a player, or always like, having the big like ego moment of, I'm throwing the big speech. It is the quickest way for failure for a season.
That doesn't work in baseball.
It doesn't
at all.
Yeah.
And then in this day and age, just from a coaching perspective, it doesn't really work too much. You can't do the yelling thing, but at the same time, you have to be able to pick them up afterwards, in which the player knows that you are there for their best interest and not just trying to be a insert your word here. And you see that a lot with a lot of different coaches at the college and the high school levels. And the managers now in Major League Baseball, they're all pretty stoic as it is.
Yeah.
They're basically just managing personalities more than anything else. But you're right. You can't just have a yeller all the time. Otherwise, you just start to tune them out and be like, this guy's he's just being a blank just to be a blank.
But it is funny too to hear, because you're right, Braden. It is funny too to hear Tyler Wade, we'll hear it in his interview, talk about playing free. That was what Jurickson Profar talked about last year. And when I asked Jurickson, like, what does it mean when someone doesn't let you play free? He said, no, you'd be surprised. Like I've had coaches and managers who they want to like micromanage everything you do out there. And they tell you can't do this, you can't do that. You've got to be this way. Can't be that way. And so you're always kind of like second guessing, and kind of trying to conform yourself a little bit to who they want you to be, versus, hey, let's focus on your strengths and you go out there and be you, while still, Mike Schultz said it today too, while still conforming to a team environment, as Braden knows from coaching and from all your broadcasting, Craig, like you've got to have somewhat of a team cohesiveness.
Sure.
But I think there are managers out there that are a little too, even Jurickson told me like sometimes you'll make a mistake out there and you'll feel terrible about it. And there'll be a manager who wants to yell at you the second you come back in the dugout, as if you don't feel horrible yourself, and he's like, those are they're doing it for show. They're doing it because they want the cameras to see them, or they don't know what to do in that moment. They don't know how to fix it. So they're just going to take it out on the player. And I'm sure there is sometimes a place where you've got to yell at a player or like Braden said, show love afterwards. But when you do it in the wrong moments, at the wrong times, with the wrong players, it backfires.
Yeah, especially like Annie said, if they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they know.
The only time
that I will, scream is if they have no idea. Right. And there's a couple times that has happened just in perspective where it made sense.
Or they're checked out or something.
Right.
Maybe,
they're not putting the team first kind of attitude. But if they go out there and they have a major mental mess up and they immediately come back and they know it, it's just like, hey, we just got to be better. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's flush it.
Right. And maybe you say something like the next day or later, you might say something or like, hey, let's go over this or let's go over that. But when you just have that like showpiece, like, what the hell were you thinking? Or what are you doing? Or whatever. Like, it's not going to work most times.
Well, I'll be honest. I think it's very generational.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be honest with
good point.
Because baseball has a slightly older audience on balance, and I know where Sports Talk Radio's audience falls too. So I think you're going to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's a very boomer attitude. And that's not.
Maybe do you think that worked back in the Trevor Hoffman days?
No, well,
back in the maybe that was the way you had to be.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
There were a higher percentage of tough, stern, strong, silent type mean dads that led to strong, silent type mean, stern coaches.
Yeah.
And that was considered an acceptable way of behaving. The mean guy with the whistle, hey, you, burr, 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 burr. And that was the way things were. And you had plenty of major league examples of guys like that. Earl Weaver, Tommy Lasorda. You could just go down the list of guys who were like that. Tommy less than Earl Weaver, but anyways, just throwing names off the top of my head here. But you go generation by generation by generation, and attitudes have changed, coaching styles have changed,
society has changed,
parental styles have changed, societal standards and mores have changed. Our social standards, our mores have changed. And the Bobby Knight coach that's always screaming and yelling at the players is now a complete anachronism.
And even exactly, no, that's a great point. And even managers, now, it's like, you're back in those days, you did the lineup, you called the shots. The front office stayed probably mostly in the front office doing front office things, and the manager really was the conduit. You had still, I think, players' clubhouses or players' locker rooms that were driven by players, which is what you really want ultimately. But the managers really controlled that whole environment, and now, or they had the say, they had their thumbprint on it. And now you've got front offices, you've got, owners, you've got lots of people who want to impart their view on how things go or whatever. So especially when you're a manager now, like you're having to kind of you're politicking a lot more. You got to politic a lot more with the players and with the front office.
Yeah. There's another thing that's changed completely generation over generation, and that's the manager that is a tough talker in terms of talking tough about his team to the press, talking, honest, fair, kind of tough talk about their team.
Like Washington, for the Angels, will still do it, but that's a bygone era. And how will his players respond to that? We still don't know,
Right.
So,
but what's changed about that? You've gone from an era, again, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, you had multiple daily newspapers in every market. You had multiple daily newspapers. You had the television stations, the radio stations coming in independently, and that's where the media was. Now, every team in every major sport and in all the minor sports too, generally create their own media. They create their own media, their own narrative. And because of that, the window of what's appropriate to say has completely shifted to where, let me tell you, 40 years ago, a manager coming out after a game and saying, my team stunk tonight. Like these guys need to get a hit. Like that was a fairly routine occurrence that was understood in the rhythms of things. And nowadays it would be national news when any manager dare say something that's a little bit too honest.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, sometimes we see a balance of it a little bit. I mean, I do still see Dave Roberts saying things like, so-and-so way too many walks, way too many, wasn't focused enough out there or whatever, needs to get a hit, or we're going to need to have him sit for a while and figure out what's going on. But you've got to be that way. And I think like still be that way year after year after year and know that that's who you are. And in different markets, I think it works differently, and so we know that that's kind of not necessarily Mike Schultz's way publicly. Like he is always going to back his players, or at least 99% of the time, not really say anything that is something we might all see with our eyes, but he's not going to say it. But you don't know too. Maybe the clubhouse would turn on him if he did. I have no idea. So it's definitely, or would the front office, or would someone in the front office be upset? And so it's an interesting time. And like I said, a lot of politicking you got to do, a lot of finessing to keep your jobs.
That's absolutely true. It is a very different time, and as a result, there's boy, you said it, you nailed it. Let's take a time out. When we come back, we're going to hear from Ruben Niebla, the pitching coach of the San Diego Padres, on the fifth starter battle, some of the electric arms that are emerging in the back of the bullpen. There's a hilarious clip from yesterday's Padres-Angels game that we need to get to, as well as the ABS system returns more than striking balls. It returns comedy as well.
Yes.
So we'll get to that as we continue. It's your Padres Deep Dive Hour. Annie and Elsten with you till 2 o'clock, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. The time is now, San Diego. San Diego Football Club's inaugural season is finally here. The team kicks off their first ever home match against St. Louis City SC Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. And the first 30,000 fans in attendance will receive a free commemorative SDFC scarf courtesy of DirecTV. Don't miss Mexican superstar Chucky Lozano and the rest of the squad. Are you ready? Single match and season tickets are on sale now. Visit sandiegofc.com/tickets to secure your seats today. Later in the show, we're going to have a pair of tickets to the home opener.
For SDFC.
Yes.
I think that is a great prize. Like the tickets
high
are
value prize.
It's a high value prize. The tickets are hard to get. They're very expensive right now, as they should be for their first game of the season. You would
Sure.
expect that.
Hype is real.
Exactly. And so, hey, call in and win. Wait, how did they call in?
Here's what I'm
Okay.
thinking about.
Win the
No,
tickets.
don't call in right now.
Then you don't call in right now.
Don't call in right now.
But then you don't have to pay people. You
No.
know, you just win. Free.
You guys can tell me if this is good, bad, or indifferent, because otherwise we can just do a call in, answer a trivia question,
Yeah.
all the basic things we can do. But we got the match game later today.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was thinking was we could go to super match, which we've never done,
Wow.
which is what the bonus round is on match game. So we could play, have a
Accelerating
winner,
the rocket level. Right.
Right,
the
we could have a
boosters.
winner.
Yeah.
and then have the winner play super match where they have to exactly match one member of the panel, their choice. And if they do, they get the tickets. And if not, we just give them away.
Braden?
What are your thoughts?
He's got to deal with like the phone calls and all that. So
It's not that big of a deal.
okay.
You can do that if you want.
Yeah, all right.
Super match.
We'll try it. So yeah, we'll try a super match. And if they match, then they get not only the qualification, but the tickets. It's like, whoa, I won two things.
Wow.
But if they don't, then it gets tossed out the window to the masses.
Okay.
So the people will be rooting against, but
the winner.
The winner will be rooting
caller.
for.
Yeah, the winner, but the winner could win it all.
Yeah, we'll root for the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we'll do. Cool. So that's coming up, match game at 12:40. And we'll make sure to be on time to leave room for super match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to get to Ruben Niebla here momentarily. First, two quick clips that I think you'll enjoy. The first from this morning, Fernando Tatis is back, folks. He's back. He went through the clubhouse. He's not in the lineup today. The team is traveling to Camelback.
Ease him back in.
Yeah.
Let
so
that flu vibes get off of him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So instead, he participated in Nick Pavetta's backfield game.
Awesome.
Today. And, some of the regulars stay behind and they do that. And the others are on the bus or maybe in their own individual beautiful cars.
Eric Hosmer had a little bit of a burn today. Talking Friar said, all the veterans are on the bus or something. And Haas quote tweeted him like, no veterans are on that bus.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. But
they're driving their
it was
Mercedes
kind of funny.
down.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
probably
So,
driving their Mercedes down in their Bentleys.
Anyways, all love. But
Right.
but no, they're
It's like
driving their
travel
own
ball
cars.
all over
Yeah.
again.
So Nick Pavetta, Fernando Tatis Jr. facing one another, backfield action. Happy to report, gang, both are in midseason form.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play the clip and show you what happened. As what does Nick Pavetta do? As we know, strikes out dudes and gives up homers. What does Fernando do? Hits homers. And here it comes.
See ya.
There it goes.
Yahtzee.
Stand and pose.
You know what this is? Remember
Yes,
when Fernando would get on the injured list and then he'd come back and he'd hit a home run the very
Yes.
first game he was back? This is
Yes.
his way of doing that right now.
Couldn't agree more.
He's hitting a home run just like he does when he misses a few days and he comes back.
Smash.
He
Mhm.
crushed that.
He did.
That was a
did.
softball. That was a softball, a home
Mhm.
run. Hit it, walk back to the dugout.
Mhm.
All right,
Just
now-
wait for Major
like-
League Baseball to put that rule in to save time.
Flew this, you know?
Now, yesterday in the game at Peoria, and of course, all the games at Peoria have the automated ball strike system being tested during spring training. Brett Sullivan, who is the maestro of the replay.
Yeah, I want to give credit. I said that I didn't know who that was yesterday, but that was Jeff Sanders that wrote that story about Brett Sullivan. And he had the 12 out of 13 or 11 out of 12.
10 out of 11.
10
I
out
think,
of
but yeah.
11 right calls.
So yesterday, Sully's behind the plate after Maldonado came out, and he successfully challenges
Mhm.
3 different pitches and gets them all overturned. And then in the 7th, he tries again. Here's Jesse and Tony with the call from yesterday.
Good breaking ball, just misses. Brett Sullivan going to challenge.
Ball call.
Brett has been expert at the ABS system. Ooh.
The call is surprisingly correct. 3.
That's awesome.
So why can't
we
more
told you.
of the
Mike
umpires be
Malinsky,
like
one
that?
of our favorites.
Oh man.
Like
So-
the hockey refs.
Yeah, like so Tony was talking about this on with him and Scraby yesterday, and said that they had been trash talking to each other. Sullivan and what's this guy's name?
Mike Malinsky.
Yeah, the umpire. They'd been trash talking all game. You know, like they have a relationship, and he's a cool umpire like that, and so they had been trash talking to each other, and then that happened. So that's what don't you love to see that? That's a great spring training moment. I would love to see that more throughout the
The
season.
call is surprisingly correct.
The dry humor is great.
Great. You know, and
It
taking
makes-
your shot when you get a chance,
Yeah.
right?
Plus, it
Yeah,
makes,
a little
makes the
self-deprecating.
fans
Yeah.
like the umpires.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
heard
know
the laugh.
why.
Yeah.
Major
Yeah.
League Baseball is so against having their umpires mic'd up. I mean, that cool video of the remember the Syndergaard deal, or it's our ass in the jackpot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Like Major League Baseball thought that was so bad for them.
Mhm.
But the reality was, I thought that was the coolest video ever. And to be honest, that was the first time I've ever I'm kind of on the umpire's side here.
Mhm.
I kind of see where he's coming from. I never get to hear what he has to say
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense. I don't know why Major League Baseball doesn't allow that.
There's a union involved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're 10,
And
15
some of
years
those
behind.
umpires are just too
Yeah.
wound up, too tight. You
But
know,
this
you gotta have
dude
the right
deserves a
one. You gotta have the
podcast.
right
Yeah.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want this guy's podcast
I
as
want-
he goes
yeah.
around baseball.
Same.
Surprisingly correct. They're
Yeah.
like the hockey guys are great.
Great. Isn't it too when you're in those Cactus League games and you're just like, you know, end of the games, those late innings, it feels like it takes forever to get through those games. And you get a little moment like that. It's like, okay,
Spring training for everybody.
have a little fun. Right.
Yeah, it was worth it for you to be there
Yeah,
then in
yeah,
the seventh inning.
I mean, you got hockey guys that will talk like S to the players as they like skate off after the penalty.
Yes.
I've seen many of
Yes.
hockey referees say, oh, Blake me? Oh, Blake you, Blake you, Blake you on the mic. They don't care. It's great. I mean, have some human interaction here. They don't have to be
Yeah.
robots. I mean, if you're going to replace them with robots.
That's right, though. Why don't you show you're human?
Yeah,
if
let's
you don't
see
want
it.
the robots coming, make it a little more
Make
worth
it
our while.
entertaining.
Right.
Again, professional sports are an entertainment
Don't
league.
just get mad all the time.
You guys are in Max Scherzer's corner now. Did you see Mad
I-
Max yesterday?
Yeah, now Max is a funny. I know we talked a little bit about Max yesterday. We'll play. Are we going to play the clip? Or did he say something? I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, he said it was kind of like why can't we just have humans? He's like, isn't this game played by humans? Couldn't it be judged by humans?
No, I would feel like Max at some point might have had a bone to pick with officials and maybe would have been open to some kind of like compromise of an ABS system. So I don't know if this was just because he got the call wrong yesterday.
I think it's because he got two
maybe
calls
he
wrong.
felt a little certain type of way.
Yeah.
But because I feel like during his whole existence, Mad Max might have felt a little differently at some point. But yeah, he was like full on the other side. Why do we have to go this route?
Yeah.
Let's just have humans. We're humans playing the game. Let's have humans calling our zones.
I understand, but Mad Max is just all worked up. I called him an idiot while he's on the mound for a reason. He gets out there, he's like,
He's not an idiot.
He's
Yeah.
like, so he's all, he's got the crazy eyes and he gets all worked up and all fired up. And then, he tries to challenge twice. And so he's still mad. Like he came off the mound mad.
And Max, I hate to tell you this because I do respect you a lot. You're going to lose this fight. This thing's coming next year.
Yeah.
It's coming whether you like it or not.
He was like,
Yeah.
now you're talking about a 3D spell. You got a 2D. It's too much. I just can't understand it.
Enjoy
come
this
on.
year of not having it in the big leagues. It will be your last.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Max, you can just retire and then.
Then you don't have
continue
to,
to
face
get the $15 million a year for the next decade
Yeah.
when he gets to the Nationals
Yeah.
and the
Right.
Dodgers
Yes.
and the Mets.
Yep.
and the-
Yeah, kid, all your deferred
Rangers.
money, go sign up to be a Fox analyst,
Mhm.
and you can criticize the game from there.
hmm
Yeah,
Go
you
coach
can,
high school ball.
you can be up there going,
No ABS in
"Yeah,
high school
I don't
ball."
like it. Yeah, I don't like it.
Wasn't a strike. Wasn't a ball. Wasn't a ball.
All right, let's take a time out and stay on clock. And when we come back, I do promise we'll bring you Ruben Niebla's interview with Ben and Woods. Always fascinating to hear from the pitching guru, and we will do that right after this extended spring training coverage right here on your Padres station, 97.3 The Fan. 11:34 on the Fan. Padres Deep Dive Hour here with you on Annie and Elsten. Let's keep it rolling. Ben and Woods are out at Peoria. And they did a lot of great interviews earlier this morning that are several hours old now. So, probably, unless you're, one of the diehards. And you know who you are, y'all in the chat that have been there since 6 in the morning.
Through 6 at night, 7 at night, 9 at night.
Yeah, tonight, 9 at night.
It's a Wednesday.
Because
I don't know.
It's a Sammy night.
Is he doing it after he's doing the show?
Oh, that's a good call. I don't know. Dang, that'd be a long show for Sammy.
I don't think he's doing it.
Going 4 hours and then going another 2 hours.
That'd be 6 straight hours.
I don't know.
Well, to be determined by folks higher on the pay scale than us.
I'm sure we'll hear.
Yeah, nonetheless. Let's hear from, and see, Blue Meanie, he missed this interview. If you missed it, it's brand new to you. Let's hear Ruben Niebla when he was on with Ben and Woods.
They could learn something from our next guest, actually, because
I'm sure they have, actually.
Sitting down with us right now. Always a treat to get to chat with Padres pitching coach Ruben Niebla. Ruben, it is great to see you. You're looking very fit and healthy.
You look great.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys look great.
Thank
Are you
you.
kidding me? I feel bad about myself sitting next to you guys.
Come on, get out of here. Flattery will get you everywhere. Ruben, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. I'm
How's
really
camp?
excited.
How's camp been?
Go very smoothly. It's going.
Good.
Yeah.
A lot of work
very
for you.
impressed. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pitchers, right?
A lot of pitchers.
We're close to 40 pitchers in camp, and so you got to organize all those guys, make sure they're all getting looks.
We had a funny moment this morning. We talked to Kyle Hart for the first time, and I said, I'm sure you were excited to come and work with Ruben. He said, absolutely, one of the reasons I signed. And he said, and I started kind of bending in his ear already, and Ruben said, we'll get to you. Like, we're fine. We're just hang on.
Relax.
Slow
down.
Yeah, slow down a little bit.
I think that, it's important for them to be themselves when they get here. You get a little bit further, and what you want to get done. The plan is there. It's just I want to make sure that he's in the right mindset to be able to execute it.
And again, with 40 pitchers that you're working with, everybody has a different personality. Everybody has different stuff. Everybody has different stuff they want to do.
Right.
Ruben, I want to learn this. Can you teach me this? I mean, how much of is it like drinking from a fire hose sometimes?
It is a little bit, but at the same time, you got to be organized. You got to be organized when you come into these settings, when you know this is going to happen. You got to have a plan. And most importantly, you've got to make sure that the player understands the plan.
Yeah.
When they understand themselves and who they are and what they're capable of doing and where their limitations might be, it's a lot easier to have those conversations.
Yeah, on that note, we've seen a couple of guys who arrived in the organization, and they learn a new pitch when they get here, maybe a sweeper. But how does that process work? Do you just go one day, okay, you're going to learn the sweeper? And do you see all right, this guy might have an aptitude for this certain pitch? I mean, adding a pitch is not just like flipping a switch and a light bulb goes on.
Right. No, yeah, there's a little science to it.
Yeah.
Different deliveries, different arm actions, different arm slots create different shapes. And what you want to do, and the way I go about business is, what is their best pitch right now? How do we complement that pitch?
Yeah.
And so once you start identifying their aptitude and their ability, are they supinators? Are they pronators? Do they fly open? Do they stay closed? All this stuff. Once you start identifying that, you kind of have to start making sense of what the guy can probably benefit from.
Well, we've already heard, we've heard a bunch of guys being mentioned already from guys out here, guys that have faced, the Bradley Rodriguez's of the world and some guys that you're probably really excited about. The thing is these days, Ruben, is everybody throws hard. I was watching a video of a kid. I think he was a sophomore in high school the other day, and he's pumping 96.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I remember in high school, if the guy threw 85, you're like, we're dead. We're not hitting this guy tonight. I mean, it is truly amazing how much velo is going on out here. For you, what impresses you the most? I mean, everybody's got a big arm. Everybody's got a big arm out here. But when you're watching a guy, what impresses you the most as a pitching coach?
Be surprised. It's probably the toughest thing to identify is the competitiveness.
Nice.
Like, I want a guy that's going to be out there, is going to get punched in the mouth and know what to do with that.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that, is the toughest to probably teach.
Yeah.
And so that's, once they come with that competitiveness, that toughness, that grittiness, once they come with that, it's like, okay, let's start shaping around that. I know that's something that every pitcher wants to do, but
They don't all have it.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And is that something that you feel like you can teach, or is that something that's kind of inborn in them?
It's tough to teach, but there you can get guys build their confidence, and a lot of times confidence comes with success.
Yeah.
Or does success come
with confidence, right?
And so you got to be able to like know which one it is.
It's the same for hitters. I mean, you know, go up to the plate thinking you're going to do damage. You're more likely to, but yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way.
When you know AJ brings in new pitchers, I assume you know he'll consult with you a little bit, but it does feel like some of the newcomers, like Nick Pivetta, Kyle Hart, again, who we met earlier, have a bit of that edge and intensity to them. That seems like maybe that's a deliberate strategy of the organization and AJ to bring more of those guys in.
Right. I think we do a pretty good job identifying those guys. You know, it's going to be tough to have 15 Joe Musgroves running around.
Right.
You know, but I think that overall, you know, we have a core group of guys that are competitors, that are fiery, that you know want to win. And so that's hopefully that you know builds the fire around the staff.
So with your bullpen, the way that it's shaping up now, I mean, you know, I think the fan who is not here every day, the fan that just watches, and you can be a hardcore fan. And I look at myself as a hardcore fan, but I would have no idea how to select, you know, hey, man, we might have a couple of spots in the bullpen. This guy throws really hard. We should give him a shot. You know, Sean Reynolds is a great example.
Right.
That guy he is absolutely nasty. I was so bummed to hear he's got the stress reaction in his foot, because I was looking at him this year, and it still may happen, as a guy that, you know, kind of flew on the scene, had a little command issues in the minors, and then got to the big leagues and was dominant.
Right.
So for you, as you're rounding out your bullpen, filling it out, how tempting is it to just get the guy that just throws as hard as he can?
It would be very tempting, but I need guys that throw strikes.
There you go.
You know, and so I mean, you want to a bullpen also is built around guys that have different attributes, right? So different slots, different shapes.
Yeah.
You know, they're able to match up. So you have the Alec Jacob, is a great example, guy that fits great into a bullpen because of his uniqueness.
Yeah.
You know, you have Morhone, you have Peralta, you have Matsui, you know, Jason Adam, you have Suarez, you know, all those guys.
He's giving you all their slots.
All the slots.
Great.
I'm giving all the slots. So they all come from different, and they all create different shapes for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, so that is also like a attribute of a good bullpen.
And then there's the knuckleball.
Then there's the knuckleball.
Is there anything
There's nothing that I
can do with Matt Waldron?
There's nothing that like I said.
Well, it's not only him. It's you can put any catcher back there for any of those other guys. You got to find the right catcher, and it's got the knuckleball's got to be working.
Right.
Matty Waldron is it's a marvel to see when it works.
It's a beauty.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
He is so locked in this spring right now.
I love that.
And the reason is he's throwing the knuckleball in the strike zone more consistently. We've changed a little bit of what he's doing in between outings. We actually gave him his own personal catcher now.
So there's something you can do.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, I guess there is. But as far as you know, he gets on the mound. If he's throwing a bullpen, there's another guy next to him. I go, Matty, go throw the knuckleball, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm going to work with this guy over here, and he's perfectly fine with that. He's embraced it now.
What is in his case? I read an interesting piece about him last year. He had a lot of success, and honestly, we don't make the playoffs without Matty Waldron, in my opinion. I mean, the way he kind of carried it in that stretch, and then I read, you know, maybe he lost a little bit of confidence, or what is the reluctance to just get up there and throw the knuckleball every single time until you find it?
Yeah, I think the knuckleball is one of those pitches that, just like anything else, if it's not in the strike zone, Matty knows that he had a fastball, a sweeper, a cutter that he can throw in the strike zone.
Yeah.
So he would fall back into that pattern.
Got it.
So what we have to do is be able to help Matty get that knuckleball in the strike zone more consistently, so that he wants to throw it.
Sure.
We just need it to be more competitive more often.
And I'd imagine, I mean, it takes a lot of courage. I mean, for any of them to get up there. We saw what happened with Cole Paplum, just awful, you know, a few days ago. But to go up there with major league hitters and now throw this ball pretty easy over the middle and trust that it's gonna,
if it floats,
move, because if it doesn't, they're gonna hit it really hard. And I'm standing 60 feet 6 inches away. That takes some courage to do that as well.
Yeah, it also takes courage to say, the catcher doesn't even want to call it catch it.
Oh, that's true.
That means that the hitter probably doesn't want to see it.
Yeah.
That's so true. So true, man. Yeah, there's a look. There's a lot to love about what you guys have going this year. So you're looking at, you got your first four, assuming injury, no injury bug rears its ugly head. For I love the competition for the fifth spot for you as a pitching coach. How does that work? Watching these guys on a daily basis. Will you guys all get in a room at some point and say, "That's the guy. That's the guy" at the end, and then this is. Do you all have to agree on it, or who makes that ultimate call?
I'm not sure.
Just text me.
I'll text you. I'll text you guys. We'll do a poll.
We can do a Twitter poll.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me guess. Mike makes the ultimate call, but if you strongly recommend something, he's the kind of guy to listen to you about that sort
I
of
think
thing.
we have side-off conversations, and then, I think at the end of the day, AJ is in charge of putting this team together and the roster together, and guys fight for positions, stuff like that, and he's going to ultimately help us make the final decision.
Well, and again, I mean, it's so fluid. How many starters did you guys use last year? 8 starters. Only eight. That's not a lot,
right?
But and we've heard that message before. It takes more than 5 to get through a season for sure. And how do you feel right now about the depth of your starting rotation, 5 and beyond?
Yeah, I really like where we're at. I mean, you're looking at Matt Waldron, you're looking at Kyle Hart, you're looking at Randy Vasquez, Brito, Kolick is now in the mix.
Yep.
So you've got some guys that you can pick from there. We just signed Wes Benjamin as well, and so there's guys that we can definitely lean on there. And some of those guys might end up in our bullpen,
sure,
right, as long guys. So it's a nice little competition, and I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, Ruben, I wanted to thank you again for appearing on our Christmas and holiday
So good.
That was
extravaganza
awesome.
show. That was really fun to have you on that day, and now it's great to see you in person here at spring training. So thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Keep
as well.
up the good work, my friend.
Forget how good looking you guys are.
Thank you so much. Like I said, flattery will get you everywhere on this program.
Ruben Niebla, politician over here, Padres pitching coach.
Great stuff from Niebla, and he's just in a good spot right now, Annie. It just feels so different from even a few weeks ago in terms of the depth available to this pitching staff, and something that I heard AJ Preller say it this morning too, that while so many people, all the minor league experts, the system rankers, the Keith Laws, right, of the world, while they all said, Padres flushed their system last year, just wiped it out with all of the trades they made. They cleaned it out. AJ Preller said through the winter, we've got arms in this system that we think more highly of basically than the rest of baseball does. And we don't know what they're talking about, but we like some of these guys. Seems like every single person is talking about Bradley Rodriguez, for example.
Yeah. And I saw that too. And I think that that's a great perspective to have. And of course you got to go out and you got to show that, right? But so far this spring training, you've been seeing some of those arms and you've been seeing some of that talent that maybe has been, slept upon, but just a little bit more hidden than I guess we had all thought at the moment. And they also went out and they signed so many minor league and they essentially added depth to their El Paso rotation big time by just these latest, bringing in these guys and the last guy from Korea, Wes Benjamin. They're bringing in all these guys. So you're giving yourself some depth there in El Paso as well. So yeah, I mean, of course they got to go out there and produce and show that they can do what they need to do at the big league level, but giving themselves a little bit more of a shot. And I love listening to Ruben talk. Ruben is awesome. I love listening to him talk about the pitching and talk about how the game is played and how he kind of goes step by step with guys. He doesn't throw too much at them too fast. He kind of takes them, meets them where they are and one step at a time. And then we'll move on to this, then we'll move on to that. And it really plays to their strengths. And Ruben is really such an asset to this team. Absolutely.
With the current situation where Hoeing is probably out at the start of the season, Sean Reynolds is probably out at the start of the season. That's not 2 openings in the bullpen, but Hoeing was supposed to take 1 spot. He was the 7th guy in the bullpen, and the 8th spot was supposed to be open for business. Now it does kind of make you wonder, does that give somebody, an Alec Jacob, a Rodriguez. Francis Pena is a guy that they've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of being really, really impressed with his changeup. The Rule 5 kid, they're talking about he's dealing with some sort of injury. I wonder if they're just going to play him on the injured
I would
list.
think so.
Like maybe just forever. Like, oh, turned out it was a season-long injury. So sorry about that. Now we own him.
Yeah, no, I know it's definitely a possibility, especially with the Rule 5 guy. But exactly. We'll see. And I think some of these are going to be like flyers essentially, but that's what you got. Every team has these, right? Every team has some of these, and you've got Ruben working with these guys and trying to get the best out of them and the most out of them. And I think that's where you feel like, okay, if he can tap into some things and he can unlock some things with some of these guys, you might see some surprising arms that really make a name for themselves this year.
Yeah. Marinaccio is another guy who's gone out there, had a couple of scoreless outings.
Yeah.
And maybe he steps into a role. Maybe, it's just really encouraging to know that there is another set below the group that's there that's just about ready to step up. In some cases might be ready to step up and jump into a role. And these are the jobs I'm really getting excited for. I posted it on Blue Sky earlier this morning too. We talked about it yesterday. The whole established veteran lotto ticket class, the Hayward, Joe, Sheets, these guys are battling against Oscar Gonzalez and Terso Ornelas, young players
who are very hungry also to come up and to make their name in the big leagues and have been doing pretty well to start. It's early, it's spring training. Can't read into it too much, but they're making it competitive so far. Yeah, Lockridge, another guy, right? That's just out there. So you got the young guys that are fighting. You got the veteran guys who we think they've got a job, but do they? What happens if they were terrible and the other guys were really good? And they're also fighting. They don't want this to be their last hurrah. They don't want to, get DFA'd and then wonder if a team's going to be able to pick them up or take a chance on them. So this is a good competition between those two groups, like you said. Well, speaking of, here's the lineup for what's about to get going in about 10 minutes at Camelback Ranch. The game, again, will be available on Padres.com. Not here. However, you can stream it at Padres.com. Jake Cronenworth at second, leading off today. Okay. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Jackson Merrill in center field. That's your 1, 2, 3 is Cronenworth, Bogaerts, Merrill. Then you got Yuli Gurriel cleaning up at DH. Gavin Sheets, first base, batting fifth. Luis Camposano, spring debut, behind the plate, hitting sixth. Connor Joe in left field in the seventh spot. There's Oscar Gonzalez. Got to keep playing him. At this point, you kind of have to play Oscar Gonzalez every day until he tells you that you can't. Yeah, and these guys getting the work in early. The competitive guys, I think it was maybe it was I think we might have ended Jake's interview before he said it, but he talked about when he was fighting for a spot, that's what you do. You're early on in the lineups. You're not doing as much backfields. You're in the games and you're trying to show what you've got and see if the team can visualize where they could use you. And so you got to take advantage of every opportunity. And so far he's been getting them. He really has. And then batting ninth today for the Pods is Mike Brasso at third base. So it's Crony Bogaerts. I know. I'm still pulling for him. Star Wars to go to El Paso. Crony, Bogaerts, Merrill, Gurriel, Sheets, Camposano, Joe, Gonzalez, and Brasso with Ryan Bergert. All right. Our second time on the mound guy for San Diego. Who knows? 3 innings today? 2 innings today? I don't know. Stephen Kolek, we didn't really talk about him, but he was really sharp. He was good yesterday. He was good. I think that they feel like there's some promise there. He's got a good mix. He was able to use more of his mix, obviously a lot more than you can use as a reliever. And for him to be able to do that and feel like, okay, he's working through a lineup, just like Michael King did, right? He's got to work through a lineup. And as you go deeper into games, figure out how you're going to use your stuff and how you're going to work your mix. This is, I think, fun for a guy. I remember Seth Lugo was like, the reason he didn't want to be a reliever is because he missed doing that. He wants to use his mix and think about the game more, strategize more, make it more interesting. And for Stephen Kolek might be the same sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. I saw him quoted about that, right? Yeah. So I agree. This is, there's just some very interesting, slightly more intriguing battles that are taking place this year, but
The core of this Padres team, just the more that you see these guys around one another, I think the one thing that I keep feeling, and I get it. We can all just say we're walking down the primrose path here because every spring training, every team feels great. I know the Guardians and the Nationals and the the Royals and whoever else are experiencing great camps right now.
This is our year.
Yeah, and I do think like it was maybe Jake Cronenworth again that said, the backfield stuff. You just can't match the intensity of a spring training game, and definitely not a actual big league game. So the backfields, like you're working on stuff, and it's important, and you want to refine the things that you're trying to work on, but the intensity and the results and the motivation and the buy-in is just not the same. You can't replicate that on the backfields, so I think that's important to remember as we continue on here for another month of backfields.
It is.
It's important.
No, it is.
It's not the end all be all.
Just remember, it's not March yet.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Only got a couple days though.
Yeah.
It's March on
Saturday.
It's March on the weekend.
March on Saturday.
March.
Mm-hmm.
We march on to hour number 3. Hang on, we don't have enough time. Shoot. Okay. 12 o'clock Sports Fix is next on the Fan. Brought to you by the Craft Taco. Whether you're craving gourmet tacos for lunch or a craft beer for happy hour, and let me tell you, both those things sound incredibly good right now. What I would do for
It's Wednesday.
just a craft taco bar and craft beer to just materialize right there.
The weather too is so perfect for some craft tacos and beer right now.
Like a ghost in the haunted
Go
mansion.
do that, people.
Please.
If you have the ability, go do that.
Now open at the Natural History Museum in Balboa Park, as well as Sorrento Valley. So if you're in a history/tacos mood, they've got you covered. You know, I want tacos, but I also would like
a dose of
craft beer,
natural history,
and natural history while I'm here.
Yeah, what's else?
And you could walk around Balboa Park a bit afterwards. I mean, or before.
Yes. Do it all together.
Yeah,
That's great on days like today.
Exactly.
Hooey. All right. Well, here's another thing you can do during the lunch hour. Listen to the 12 o'clock Sports Fix, where we present all the news, bless you, that you need to know for Wednesday, February 26th. 3 days left in the second month of the year. Here we go. And he's got your baseball report.
Yes, a very small baseball report. And I just
you.
realized that I didn't look up. I got to look up a pronunciation here. Belak. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The Nationals are bringing back Kyle Finnegan with Robert Murray of Fansided reporting that the two sides have agreed to a 1-year contract.
Good old Kyle Finnegan.
Good old Kyle Finnegan.
Once was a man named Kyle Finnegan.
He gets a $6 million guarantee. And he does have a song. And let's see. Finnegan, 33, spent the past 5 years with the Nats and also on an island.
Song. I think the song is about his cousin, Michael Finnegan.
Yeah.
Had some whiskers on his chin again.
Oh,
wind blew him off. And there went
Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah. Good old Kyle Finnegan. Begin again.
Okay, thank you, Braden.
You're welcome.
The Diamondbacks are in agreement with Brandon Belak on a minor league contract. Belak elected minor league free agency after being waived by the A's late last fall. He has pitched in parts of 5 MLB seasons as a swingman. That's it. There's your baseball report.
So you had to bring some light to the to the report.
It's because Kyle's an Irishman is what you're doing there.
Yeah, good old Michael Finnegan.
Yeah, that's right.
Poor old Michael Finnegan and his misadventures. Had plenty of bad luck, and the words make us feel sorry for the poor fellow.
Hey, my lucky charms.
There once was a man named Kyle Finnegan.
This may be the shortest fix in history. Here's Braden.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Lights out. Reaching foul on Craig, too, on that. Trying to ask for a foul.
I think it's funny you got the foul when he sang the song. Right?
I understood. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you know that happens in basketball.
Strangely feels familiar.
You know,
to
it's
me.
never the first guy; it's the second guy. That Craig should have walked away.
Something else happens.
That's
I
right.
get the foul.
Bang!
Got
Get the
it.
blame.
Foul.
Yeah. Got it.
Gone.
Understood.
Second year in a row. I know Annie loves this report.
I love it
year.
already. I don't know
She
what it
loves
is.
this report because we bring it up all the time. It's the Players Association survey.
Oh, I love the Players
NFL.
Association survey. The worst teams, the worst locker rooms, the worst nutrition places.
Correct.
Yeah.
Second year in a row, the Dolphins and Vikings earned top marks in the NFL Players Association annual survey, evaluating workplace environment.
Hey, that's good old. Come on, he was the
Kevin
CEO
O'Connell.
here.
No.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell for the Vikings, but for the Dolphins, he was here with the Padres.
Oh,
Mike D.
No, not Mike.
No, I know it. Oh my god.
Okay, let me just look real quick. But anyways,
He draws the foul.
A foul for interrupting my report.
it's
would
not really Tom Garfinkel. It's not.
thanks.
He's more on the business side, but still, like we got
Second
two
foul for
San
invoking
Diegans.
Garfinkel.
Yeah. All right, continue, Braden.
Are we done?
I guess we'll see.
Foul for interrupting and then not having an answer for the.
It's fair.
Okay, well let's start from the top. For the second year in a row, the Dolphins and Vikings earned top marks in the NFL Players Association annual survey evaluating workplace environment. I'd like to evaluate my workplace environment.
You have a chance
Right
to
now.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously.
Oh, hey, good
There's a
point.
meeting.
Oh, that's right. No,
Right.
we already
Maybe take a
evaluated
break.
it.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
already
take a break,
evaluated it.
Yeah.
Do we get an hour off for that?
I
No.
don't
In
know.
the middle of the show, play the we could play it.
We could play. We could just play Ben and
Just
Woods.
play
We
Ben and
could.
Woods for an
and
hour.
go to the meeting.
We're on to
Right.
something here. Hey,
Mhm.
we're just trying to help the ball
Yeah.
club out.
Okay.
They wanted us at the meeting. Overall grades improved in the union's latest survey, which was released Wednesday, with a 41% increase in areas earning an A- or higher and a 51% decrease in areas earning a D+ or below. The average grades of the bottom 5 teams, Steelers, Jets, Browns, Patriots, and Cardinals, increased from a D+ in 2024 to a C-. Wow.
Okay.
Grades are getting better
Mhm.
in 2025. In its third year conducting the league-wide report card, the NFL Players Association received responses from 77% of its membership, or 1,695 players, averaging 52 responses per team. All players, including practice squad members, were eligible to participate in the report card. Surveys were conducted between August and November. Former NFL Players Association president and current chief strategy officer for the union, J.C. Treader, said the report cards are important vehicles for players to give meaningful feedback to their teams while preserving anonymity.
Thanks, JC.
While demographics of the players are collected, names are not. So I guess everybody did pretty well. Chargers aren't in the bottom 5 for the first time.
Really?
The bottom 5, as I mentioned before, were Steelers, Jets, Browns, Patriots, and Cardinals. I do know from a lot of people that I know that cover the Cardinals out in Arizona that is
not a good.
Was told they're the worst organization in all of sports.
Ew.
All of sports, not just the NFL. So, not surprised the Cardinals are there. College football. Leaders of the college football playoff are asking for more information before they decide whether to change the way teams are seeded in the 12-team playoff this fall. College football executive director Rich Clark said Tuesday, following a day of meetings at the DFW Grand Hyatt. 10 FBS commissioners and Notre Dame, Pete Bavacqua, an 11-person group called the CFP Management Committee, are considering a straight seeding format this year, which would reward the selection committee's top 4 teams with a first-round bye instead of the 4 highest-ranked conference champions, as was the case this past season. We talked about this yesterday, but everybody wants, quote, more information.
I really want them to be related.
Who? Bavacqua?
Yeah.
Bavacqua couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
He lives in Encinitas. Somebody go up there and ask him. You're related to the Notre Dame guy?
Right.
No.
Oh, okay.
No allegiance.
Whatever.
Though the possibility of automatic qualifiers generated a conversation both publicly and privately, Clark said the idea was discussed, but not at length. The Big Ten and the SEC did not present any specific model for consideration. Sneaky. Phillips said the CFP was still considering multiple options for 2026 and beyond, including fields of 12, 14, and 16. I could save you a lot of time. Just make it 24. Just make it 24.
I think
just
they just
do
want
what
to
the
go
FCS
to all
does.
these Grand Hyatts and all these whatever.
Exactly.
They want. You're right. They want the meetings. They want the lunches. They want the whatevers, and
Well,
they're
if
just
the
going
kids
to
get wined
drag
and
this
dined
out.
now, might as well. All the great times in Dallas. There's a lot of great steakhouses and barbecue places.
Awesome.
We need more information. I could save you a lot of time. Just do what the league below you does, the FCS.
It works.
It's pretty simple. They have no problems down there. Everybody's included. You win the Pioneer League, you get to go to the sacrificial lamb in North Dakota State. But hey, you know what? You get to go to the playoff. Everybody's involved. There's a path for everybody. You got a chance. More playoff games means more money, which means you get to stay at maybe even a nicer hotel than the Grand Hyatt.
Yeah.
Maybe you can stay at Jerry Jones's house. Who knows? Save you a lot of time. Why stop at 16? Let's stop at 24. Let's just make it happen. I saw a thing that said, if you were the president for the day, what would you do? Now, college football czar, I got a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd like
as the president for the day, I would
have.
elect myself as the college football czar
Right.
and then resign
And
as
then-
president and then
Yeah.
start doing what
And
I
then
need
get
to
to
do.
work.
You'd like a word.
Absolutely. I think a lot of
I would back your coup.
there you go. I'll be in on that.
The Gulf of Suprenant.
That's right. Well, I think a lot of presidents and other entities would like to know what's going on in the betting scandals around college athletics. We have another one.
Oh, boy.
4
Do
New
we
Orleans
really?
players who have been suspended since late January are under investigation for possible NCAA violations related to sports gambling, according to multiple reports. The university's only public statement about the matter has described the reasons for the suspensions as an unspecified violation of team rules. Wasn't that the same thing Fresno State said? I think they said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James White, Josh Short, Day Hunter, and Jamond Vincent have not played since the Privateers lost to Incarnate Word on January 27th. Reasons for their suspensions were first reported in a social media post by college basketball analyst Jeff Goodman. New Orleans, who's 4-25 and 2-16 in the Southland Conference, has lost all 8 games it has played since the suspensions and is scheduled to play at UT Rio Grande Valley, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, which used to be called University of Texas Pan American, and they combined with some other school in Texas that I forgot. They're now UT Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
They're stone's throw away from the Mexican border at the bottom tip of Texas.
Oh, wow.
Multiple gambling industry sources told ESPN's David Purnham that a betting ring under federal investigation also placed bets on at least 2 New Orleans men's basketball games this season. The December 28th game at McNeese State and the January 11th game against Southeastern Louisiana attracted bets from the sportsbook accounts associated with the betting ring, according to the sources. The point spread moved significantly against the Privateers in 3 other games this season. ESPN previously reported that the ring also played bets on games involving Temple, North Carolina A&T, Eastern Michigan, and Mississippi Valley State, who is the worst team in college basketball. The bettors have also ties to the 2 NBA betting cases, including one that led to former Toronto Raptor Jonte Porter being banned from the league. The revelations at New Orleans come days after Fresno State suspended 2 of its top men's basketball scorers on Saturday and removed a 3rd player from the team amid reports that the program is the subject of gambling investigations. Fresno State's record, anybody want to guess? 5-23, 1-16 out west. What do all these teams have in common?
Bad, and therefore
teams. Yeah.
easy to pick on,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
guys who are down on their luck and upset and manipulatable.
Correct.
Yep.
Maybe betting on college athletics is not
They're
something
gonna
that we
not
should
do it
legalize
again.
in a lot of different things, but it's going to continue with problems. The fact that they're all roped in with Jonte Porter tells you everything you need to know. So we'll keep you updated. Hopefully not another school gets jumped up on this list in the next couple of days. Here's Craig. Or not. Here's Craig. There he is.
Emerging from the darkness.
That's twice now, StreamYard. Falling
Here
apart.
I am. Local report is a brief one. The San Diego Gulls host the Calgary Wranglers tonight at Pechanga Arena. That's a 7 p.m. face-off. The Gulls have won 6 in a row, 7 out of 8. But that will be on the line against a Calgary team against which they are 1-5 this season. However, San Diego won the last one, a 5-4 OT win in Calgary. So at least they're trending in that direction. You can check that out at Pechanga Arena, or you can pay for it on AHL TV if you so choose. San Diego FC sent out a press release this morning saying they expect the largest crowd in Snapdragon Stadium history on Saturday night.
Which I was kind of surprised about because I thought the Wave had sold out Snapdragon a few times. So
They
maybe
have.
there's like more seats open, or
What they're really saying without saying the club name, because they probably will never say the club name or want to, is that they're going to draw more than the Wave did. That's what they're saying, because the Wave
Okay.
have the record. It's like 32,000 and change. So they're going to try and jam in, 33,000. They
Got
also
it.
said limited tickets remain available.
right.
So
they're not completely sold out, it sounds like.
right. They've been trying to tie a lot of the tickets to become a season ticket member
Sure. Yeah.
in order to get the tickets. And you know how that goes. That game's going to keep being played till Friday, Thursday or Friday. And then we've released a few more tickets,
But remember, you can get 2 tickets here.
If you play the match game and you win the super match, you can get it. Or if the person who plays loses
this hour,
then you can
right.
wait for it. That's what's going on. Okay, over to the NBA. Luka Doncic had 19 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. LA Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks 107-99. Actually, I got a link here for you, Braden. Jordan Brand put out a brand new commercial
On brand.
that aired immediately prior to the TNT broadcast
is it about a parking lot
of Luka.
Free parking?
It is not. It is not. Although, as Annie and Braden mentioned there, Luka / Jordan Brand bought out a parking lot outside Crypto.com Arena, NE Staples Center, to offer free parking to Lakers fans, courtesy of Jordan Brand. I'll describe for the radio listeners this commercial, which starts with the back of a purple Lamborghini, I assume.
Purple Lamborghini.
And it's got a white Texas 77 license plate. And then somebody, Luka-esque, with a hoodie on, back to camera, brings out the, what do you call that thing? And unscrews the Texas plate and replaces it with a purple and gold California 77 plate. And then the car revs up and
Here we
pulls
go.
away. Full tank, no mercy,
Ooh.
says it, followed by the Jordan Brand. And of course,
I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're not playing
good.
it, but the song in the background of the commercial is All My Exes Live in Texas.
You got to troll. They're
Yeah.
trolling, so they're doing what they should be doing,
And
and
they're probably getting a lot of likes from the Mavericks fans.
exactly.
Yeah, all the Mavericks fans are
pretty
like,
good. That's pretty good.
100%. We agree with you. So that happened last night in the NBA. Also last night in the NBA, the highest scoring game in Memphis Grizzlies history. They beat Phoenix Suns in overtime, 151-148. Yikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a good day at the office.
No.
Golden State continues to crush with Jimmy Butler on the team. They beat Charlotte 128-92. People are comparing Jimmy Butler to Rasheed Wallace back in 1990 in terms, or was it
Wow.
2000? I think
It is
2000. In terms of the greatest trade deadline acquisition in history.
Oh, okay.
Because Rasheed Wallace came to the Pistons and just lit them up on fire, and then they went on to win the championship. And that's what Jimmy Butler's done since he's come to Golden State.
Nice.
He has lit that club on fire in a good way.
Straight gas.
Yeah, exactly. Full tank, no mercy. Jimmy agrees in terms of what's going on. Now, tonight in the NBA, there are 9 games. The Clippers will be at Chicago. And that looks like it. I mean, San Antonio, Houston, that'll be a good game. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the NBA tonight. Yesterday in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin lights the lamp on a power play goal for the Washington Capitals. That's what it sounded like inside D.C., where Ovechkin moved within 12 goals of Wayne Gretzky's formerly thought to be utterly unbreakable all-time goals record. However, that was the only goal of the match for Washington. Calgary beat Washington 3-1. The Sabres skated past the Anaheim Ducks by a 3-2 score last night. Tonight, there are 3 games on the ice of the NHL, including the LA Kings hosting the Vancouver Canucks and our beloved Winnipeg Jets skating at Ottawa.
Yours.
He draws the foul.
I mean, ours.
No, you got a mouse in your pocket?
Me and the coffee cup over
You
here.
yeah. Wait, you're cheating on Greg's coffee cup?
Today I am. I went to Gold Coast. So
Oh my!
Good
they've
call.
got the Hawaiian hazelnut. I really like that.
That's probably
You could
good.
have poured it in your other cup.
I could have.
Yeah.
2004. Thank you, Jake, for Rasheed Wallace. That's it. That's your 12 o'clock sports fix for today.
Your Jets.
They're really doing well. They've won 10 in a row, putting
This is
a
good.
10-game winning streak on the line.
Good for you.
Uh-huh.
Your Jets.
My Jets.
Your
Oh,
Jets.
I don't see a Jets jersey.
I don't
hat,
have any.
No
shirt.
Jets gear.
If they make the playoffs, maybe.
You know,
I gotta cut down my spending because if I'm going to a UCSD March Madness game,
and you got to have some UCSD gear, some current gear.
first off,
Yeah.
I don't.
You need.
I
to,
learned that
right.
when I went to the game a couple Saturdays ago. I literally went there intending to buy merch, and the merch stand wasn't open.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah, it was like I don't know if it was sold out or what. I don't know.
You're missing an opportunity,
Yeah,
right?
no, I came like the Futurama gift. I was like, take my money, you know, and it's like they were
Shut
like,
up and take my money.
yeah, they were like,
Exactly.
I don't have a stand.
I mean, if you're going, if they're heading into the tourney and you're going, you've got to
Yeah,
have.
I got to have that. I got to have
Because you and
plane
Brayden are bringing it
tickets.
today. You've got the sugar skulls on the tee, and Brayden's got the upside down frogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course,
Yep.
I'm just in black, but still.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
The no
Got to
rivals.
buy a hotel room. Got to buy
Yes.
tickets. Got to buy airfare.
They got the
Yeah.
upside down Aztec hats now.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Does that mean that
Maybe
the
the
frogs are in
upside down SD
distress?
too.
or-
Huh?
I saw an upside down Padres hat too. I feel like.
Yeah, like there's
What is that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, why-
Right.
why-
What is
yeah,
that?
it's a brand. Well, there's one brand that started it in
Uh-huh.
Texas. I don't
They started it.
remember.
Yeah.
And then No Rivals does a bunch of they license a lot of the college deals. It was like it's like a Dallas Cowboys
Got it.
deal. Upside down hat. It's very popular right now. The upside down hats. I can't remember who. Because I have a couple of them.
Maybe you can get an upside down Triton's hat.
It's True Brand. That's what it is. So True Brand is the original upside down deal, and they did it for a lot of the
I
Texas.
feel like I want them to be right side up.
Okay.
They're Dallas. They
That's-
say Dallas on it, and
fair.
so they have a bunch of different
I
Dallas.
mean, if
things.
the team's upside down, it feels bad to me.
It's fair.
Well, it's Cowboys, Mavericks, Rangers, FC Dallas,
Known winners, all them.
Wings, and the Stars all have those hats. And then No Rivals made some college version, and San Diego State's got to deal with them. So does the Frogs.
Well,
They make right side up hats too.
your mileage may vary on whether you want the upside down hat or the right side up hat.
No, the upside down hat's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because the best part is people go, "What's that say?" Or they go like, "Is your hat upside down?"
I just know I have to save up because this March Madness trip is going to cost, and then there's the Sacramento trip right after that,
yeah.
which I've mostly paid for, but still. And then There's the Kendrick concert coming up in
Mhm.
May. I'm sure
Cool.
something else will emerge along the way. Got to crank, settle down, simmer
Start
down.
budgeting.
Oh, and I got to save up for the Mike Brasso El Paso Star Wars jersey. That's going to be an
Correct.
auction. I have no
Mhm.
idea how much I have to spend for that.
Plus, you're going to Sacramento in April.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I got to chill. I got to chill on buying stuff. I was just looking at a ridiculous costume that I could wear in the supporters section.
Costume.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in the supporters section?
Well, I'm
this Saturday?
Did you buy
I
the
think so.
supporter tickets?
Do you
yes,
have to wear
I
a
do have.
costume?
No, I could just show up in my
Are there
jersey.
rules? Why doesn't everybody just buy a supporters ticket and go on the cheaper?
Because
what
you
is the
have to be a
rule
member.
here?
You have to be a member of the Independent Supporters Union.
How do you get to be a member of the Independent
You
Supporters
sign up.
Union?
You pay $15 and you sign up.
Well, then can't you get the very
But-
inexpensive tickets?
But being in the supporters section, Annie, and I would love at one point this year to invite you to join us, join the locals, the Chavos, Bardia 18, the Riptides, everyone, and come to the tailgate.
See what it's all about.
Come with us, march in, do the whole thing, do,
Yeah.
do the whole thing, and then walk away from it and say, I get it, or walk away from it and say, I'll never do that again, but I appreciate it, or whatever, right? You'll fall somewhere on the spectrum between one or the other.
But do you have the option to sit in other seats, or are you press box or supporter section?
For me personally, I'll either have a press pass or I'll be standing in the supporter section.
Do all the supporters stand?
Yes.
Oh,
you're a
it's all
supporter.
standing. Okay, I see.
You're basically signed up to be in the student section, Annie.
Right.
Got
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like being in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would it's like being in the supporter section is like being in the soak zone at SeaWorld.
Okay.
Like
okay.
you know what you're in for.
Mhm.
You know what you're signing up for.
Right.
What happens if someone's just taking a beat, they're checking their phone, or do they get kicked out? Do they get shamed?
They get sent. They get sent to the San Diego.
Shamed
They get sent to
potentially,
the show
yes.
at Viejas.
No, shamed potentially, yes.
Oh, wow.
No, there will be a set of 6 to 8 captains who will have their back to the field.
What if you get tired?
The entire right, you get tired,
Yeah.
But if everyone is chanting and everyone's moving, then there's that one dude in the middle that's just sitting there on their phone.
Why are you there?
That's killing the vibe. That's negative aura.
Why are you there?
Right
bro?
there. Exactly.
No
You're
cap.
killing it. You're killing everybody's aura, dude.
Yeah.
Pulling
So
everybody down. No cap.
everyone stands. The seats are literally bolted up, so you can't sit in there.
Okay.
And it'll be 95 minutes of
Pandemonium.
nonstop energy.
I mean, I'm sure we'll see some of it on the TV screens.
You will.
coming through.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm questioning whether I'm going to buy my ridiculous, because it would be a great outfit.
What's your costume?
It's like an all silver suit.
So, okay, what's your thinking behind that?
It would stand out.
Okay, you should do it.
It
You
would
should
stand.
do it.
And chrome
silver.
is such a key
Yellow.
color.
Do the chrome. Do the
chrome dragons.
with
yeah.
a dragon tail and
You
some
should do a
wings.
dragon tail.
Yeah, dress up like a chrome.
Oh
Okay,
dragon.
so what
my
I was
gosh, this is
thinking.
it, Brayden.
Okay, what I was thinking
Yes.
We're on to something.
was that
Yes.
if I buy the generic silver suit,
Buy the suit.
and then
Like
it
the
is
Silver Surfer.
well,
Mhm.
I did think about Silver Surfer, but I didn't want to do the whole body suit because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
As opposed to an actual suit. A suit is just a suit. You know what I mean? A bodysuit is kind of weird.
it's a lot
It's kinda
tighter.
weird. It's a lot- yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
a
see
little-
a lot more.
I don't need to do
Right.
that. I don't need to do that. But I was thinking that if people liked it, then maybe one of the people who is super original might put a dragon on the back of the suit.
Oh, well, you
You
should
know.
put a dragon tail.
Well, I don't know how to do
Yeah.
that. I
Go
don't
get
know how to
it.
do
Go
that.
get it embroidered and put a giant dragon on the back.
Well, let's just see if I even buy
Some
it first.
wings.
Here's the thing. I was looking at it last night. I know we have to take a break. I was looking at it last night, and I use my wife's Amazon account, right? We have one Amazon account. So
Why pay for two?
Right. Why pay for two?
Why pay for two
It'd be
Primes?
stupid and ridiculous
Yes.
to pay for two.
Family share primes.
So I put into the cart all the elements that would be in the costume, and then I didn't buy it.
Right. You just leave it in the cart.
I just
Yeah.
left it in the cart. I'm still kind of thinking about this. And then Mitzi came to me last
Saved
night
my
at
work.
9:45, in almost in a panic, what is all of this stuff? And I go, oh yeah, I haven't bought that. And she goes, I was just about to cancel the account. I was about to report fraud and theft.
Wow.
I'm like, no, it's me. I'm an idiot. It's like, why would anyone buy all this?
Why would
silver
anybody
stuff?
buy this?
Silver sneakers and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
silver
yeah,
suit.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Someone's hacked your
I'm a
thing,
nut
right? Mhm.
because I'm a nut. That's why I'm cray cray.
I definitely think you should do this. Silver all the way.
All right, when we come back, we're going to play a couple quick clips from Mike Schilt, and then we got to clear out to make room for the match game, which is still to come. So stay right there. It's San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Craig Elsten here for Underdog. It's basketball season. It's NHL time. But when your favorite stars are putting points on the board, we're giving you the chance to win money watching sports with Underdog, one of the leading sports app now available in California. All you have to do is play daily fantasy sports on Underdog. That means picking as few as 2 players, as many as 8 from at least 2 different teams, and choosing whether they're going to go higher or lower on one of their stats, like points or rebounds or 3-pointers or turnovers or goals or penalty minutes. There's all kinds of options available on Underdog. That's what I love about it the most, is that you have the chance to play for as little as $1, as much as you want. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won billions making picks on Underdog. All you have to do is download the Underdog app, sign up now using the promo code Craig, that's CRAIG, to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun. Sign up with promo code Craig. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Padres put a sheet on it at first base today. Gavin Sheets
Put a sheet on it with Padres. I'm trying to stream the game over here, and I just get a Padres logo with like space around it.
Is it figure that out?
Just audio today?
I can see it. Oh, it's on Chicago. I'm watching. It's the Chicago feed. If you want to watch it, otherwise it's just audio, right?
So it's audio only.
I'm on the Chicago broadcast. White
I'm on
Sox.
the wrong side. I'm on the Padres audio cast, which is useless to watch with the sound off.
Well, yeah, that be like watching the radio our radio show in the car with the sound off.
Seems like a bad idea. All right, let's get to the Daily Schilt. First, a reminder to listen to us in 28 minutes at 1 o'clock when we announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a future Padres game. Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. About to sneeze. Here's Mike Schilt.
What are you looking for from Luis Campusano getting his feet wet today?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, knock on wood a little bit. You know, looks like everybody's in camp now, and hopefully this whatever's going around is over. Can't be clearly affected by it. Got a chance to catch a live yesterday. Good to see now his hard work that he's put in the off season, going to play winter ball and go play today and enjoy it.
That competition, I mean, you got a bunch of – it's a real mix. Diaz, Maldonado, a lot of veterans, right? Campy. What will determine that? I know how important defense is in that position. What will determine that? What are the factors you're looking at?
A lot of factors. You know, it is a defensive first position. We talk a lot about our team defense and how the different units, infield, outfield, the catching works, but the catching really is the quarterback of the team, and the ability to. And it's also really the only position that being a good teammate allows other teammates to have success, but the catching position has a real influence on the pitcher's career to some degree. And so the ability to understand how to game plan, how to run a game, how to do all the intangibles that come with the catching position, including, you know, even some of the positioning things that, you know, relative to what's being called, and just having overall game awareness is really important. You know, there's so much intrinsic value that can't be quantified with a catcher that can do those things, and they just help you win games. And so that'll be a big part of the evaluation. Of course, you know, the offensive component's a part of it as well. But really it's, you know, being able to help pitchers get to be the best version of themselves is ultimately what a catcher is responsible for. They're good ones.
That's an interesting comment, and one that I'm sure Martin Maldonado would love to hear, because
Absolutely.
that's kind of the only value he's brought to his big league ball clubs over the last 4+ years is the ability to make the pitchers better and to be a good defender. He literally not hit 200 this decade. But that's just it's an interesting point that Schilte makes, and I don't think it's disingenuous, Annie, but I do think that you need some offense from the position.
I mean, you do. You would hope so. I've said it before. I think that their catcher position, as it stands right now, is one of their weaker points on the team. It just is, and it can change. I mean, we could see more production and a different level for Luis Campusano that we've seen before, or even for Elias Diaz or Martin Maldonado, or, you know, we could see something emerge, and there's always a chance of that. But as it stands, these guys got to show that first, you know, and it is good to have obviously a defensive catcher. You need that first and foremost. You need the catcher to do catcher things and be able to call a good game behind the plate and throw guys out and you know, have a good way to frame and all of that good stuff. But man, it'd be nice if you get a little offense there too.
The Daily Schilt for today. Game is underway. It's 1-0 Padres going to the bottom of the second inning at Camelback Ranch. Connor Joe doubled off of Sean Burke and scored on a fielding error at first base off the bat of Oscar Gonzalez. So 1-0 Padres. Ryan Bergert, a perfect first inning with 1 strikeout. We'll keep you up to date. But right now, time to assemble the all-star panel and get ready for this week's match game. We need 2 contestants to join us and go head-to-head on the phones at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone lines are open now. You will be playing both to qualify for our end of the month, end of the week grand prize drawing for 2 tickets to see Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM, plus hotel stay at Park MGM. And if you win today, you will get to go on to the bonus round and attempt to win a pair of tickets to see San Diego FC's first home game Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium.
All right.
So this should be a fun one. We need not 1, but 2 contestants, 833-288-0973. Give us a call, 833-288-0973. We play match game next on The Fan. Motley Crue just announced a brand new Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM March 28th to April 19th. You can get your tickets to Motley Crue, the Las Vegas residency, at Ticketmaster.com. It is 12:43. It's Silly Games time. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time to get ready to match the stars. Annie Heilbrunn.
Hello.
Adam Clue.
So happy to be back.
On the reg, Greg.
Hello, hello.
Microphone.
Try it again.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you are.
Braden Sopretis.
What's up? Well, I need my whiteboard.
Yeah, you do. And I'm your host, Gene Rayburn. This is Match Game 97.3, where you try to match the stars for big-time prizes. We have 2 contestants on the line doing battle in our first ever double stuff-sized match game, fighting not only to qualify to go see Motley Crue, but our winner today to move on to a bonus round to try and win SDFC tickets to the home
Great prize.
opener.
Spicy.
Yep.
Big
Big prizes. So
big,
The
big.
place
let's
to
welcome
be on
in
Saturday.
today's contestants. Contestant number 1
I'll be there.
from North County. It's Danny in Escondido. Hello, Danny. Welcome to the match game.
Hey, guys.
Danny.
Hey, Danny.
How are you?
We're all doing good, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we play.
I bet you're a Padres fan.
40-year resident of San Diego. Love the Padres. My wife and I are season ticket holders, and yeah.
Awesome, Danny. We're glad to have you here, man. You're going to be going head-to-head with Memo in San Diego. What's up, Memo?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
It's going great, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in San Diego, and I'm a big Padres fan as well.
We did it. Appreciate you,
Awesome.
Memo. Stay right there. You two are our contestants today on the match game. Here's how the game is going to be played. It's very straightforward. We're going to play it in 2 rounds. In each round, each one of you will receive 1 prompt. When it's your turn.
Every time he gets me.
Wow. Just wow.
He draws the foul.
Oh, come on.
When it's your turn.
That's a delayed.
It's
mini
100%
foul.
delay of game
Yeah.
foul. 100% delay of game
That was
foul.
for the double stuffed Oreo.
Yeah, I caught
Snickering
that
at.
too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
When it is your turn, I will read the prompt to the panel while I keep you on hold. They will write down their best answer to the question. Then I will come back to you, read you the same prompt, and receive your answer. We will compare it to the panel. Every time you get a match, that's worth a point. At the end of 2 rounds and potentially a tiebreaker, we will have a winner. That winner will go on to a bonus round where they will select 1 person on our panel that they will attempt to match head to head.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
In order to win SDFC tickets.
Okay.
That's how the game will
Super
be played.
match.
And
That is indeed the super match.
And if they lose that,
Then it goes out to the audience. Then
Okay.
we'll do
we
it.
are giving away tickets.
We
at the
will
point.
give away
the tickets.
Someone's taking home a pair of tickets to
Exactly.
go see SDFC.
Yes. So the audience will be rooting against the winner. We will be rooting for the winner. That's how it'll
negative
work.
juju in the atmosphere there.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's how it goes.
The chat's gonna be on fire.
All right, Danny, you are contestant 1. You called in first. So in round 1, you get the option. Would you like question A or would you like question B?
I'll take question B.
Question B it is. As we begin the game, we remind everybody listening that all characters who appear in Match Game 97.3 questions are 100% and entirely fictional. Any resemblance that they may have to anyone living or dead is entirely coincidental.
I still can't remember the guy I came up with this week.
I know.
Except for the Barry one.
I know. All right, here we go. Round 1, question B. Panelists locked.
In.
Locked.
Let's go.
Sexy Nando has been under the weather.
What?
How sexy is he?
But
Now, how under the weather is he?
very sick.
He is very
Yeah.
sexy. Yeah.
Sexy Nando has been under the weather, but anytime he's feeling blue, he recovers with a nice blank. Sexy Nando has been under the weather, but anytime he's feeling blue, he recovers with a nice blank.
Done.
Go with the boring answer.
Match is coming.
All right.
Ready.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Greg.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's ready.
Oh wow! I thought we'd all have the same answer.
Yeah, I
We
know
don't,
yours
though.
is the right one. Yeah.
All right, Danny, we come back to you, buddy. Sexy Nando has been under the weather, but anytime he's feeling blue, he recovers with a nice
Dinger.
dinger.
Home run.
All right.
Except dinger, home run.
It's the
anything
right
like
answer.
that.
I just didn't think about it. But shirtless interview is what I have.
What's usually after the dinner is the shirtless interview. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful. All right, Adam Klug.
I wanted to go home run, and I have home run in parentheses as a more catch-all. Make sure we get a match.
Yes.
But let's go with the direct match of Dinger.
Whoa! Direct match.
I know you guys are like mascots on the show, so
That's right.
Went with the Dinger.
That's one. Here's on the red, Greg.
I went with a nice massage. I thought that would be nice.
Come on.
Sorry. I know those sports guys like their massage.
No.
That's amazing. That's
Not everyone's an upstanding citizen like your Eagles.
Wow.
That's a tech.
I wasn't going to go.
Allegedly.
Braden.
I went with home run.
Yeah, home run. Absolutely.
Technical
Absolutely.
foul
Great job.
on Greg.
2 matches for Danny in round number 1. Pretty good job, Danny. All right, Memo, it's your turn now. You get question A in round 1. Stay right there. Here we go. Manager Mike said to close talking Barry, hey,
How close was he?
yeah. Hey, take a step back, man. I can smell the blank on your breath. Manager Mike said to close talking Barry, hey, take a step back, man. I can smell the blank on your breath.
Hope you've been watching our videos on 97.3 The Fan Twitter.
Yes, because he's been a regular. Well, someone
coincidental.
else has been, but
All right, ready.
close talking.
Ready.
Barry. You guys ready?
Yeah,
Ready.
Okay.
Oh, Annie.
Okay, Memo. Here we go.
Total coincidence.
Manager Mike said to close talking Barry, hey, take a step back, man. I can smell the blank on your breath.
I'll say hot dog.
That's a good answer.
That's a pretty good answer.
Screaming answer.
That's a pretty good answer, Memo.
This
I don't
is
know if you're
just
going to match.
completely random. I have Metamucil.
Completely random.
Gotta stay regular.
You get a point. Here's and he's now on the game. Here's Adam.
Chipotle?
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Mike loves the Chipotle.
He does.
I went with tacos.
Tacos. Yeah. Yeah.
I went with something that smells bad, so I went with anchovies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, those are all good answers. And honestly, so is hot dog. But it is 2-0 right now. Danny with the lead on Memo. Okay, Memo, you get the chance to fight back. You are contestant 2, so you get the option in round 2. This is often a game-deciding choice. Would you like question A, Memo, or would you like question B?
I'll go with question A.
Question A.
Good
You got
choice.
it. You got it. Here we go. Round 2, question A.
Locked.
Wacky Woodsy can't stand rooming with Colonel Budget. It's one thing to share a room, another thing altogether to share a blank.
There's one absolute answer here. And I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to go with something a little bit different.
Wacky Woodsy can't stand rooming with Colonel Budget.
Right.
It's one thing to share a room, another thing altogether to share a blank.
Ready.
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 All right. All right, Memo, we need 2 from you, buddy. Here we go.
I'd say
Go for it.
I'd say a toilet.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I almost
Toilet.
went with bathroom. I just went with bed.
I thought that
Like
was the
they're-
obvious answer. Bed.
Yeah,
Snuggle
bed.
buddies.
Yeah,
Only one
share
bed
a
in the
bed.
room.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that was the
A
right
year
answer.
or 2 ago, sometime we filmed that video of Ben in the bathroom in the bathtub.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is what
Yes,
I went with.
bathtub. That's a good answer. It's a good answer.
I too said
Bed.
I was gonna put bed, but I thought it was too common, so I went with even worse. It'd be to share a pillow on said bed.
Oh,
wow.
that's a good one.
That'd be rough.
Yeah.
That's some serious budgeting right there.
That is.
Well, I'll tell you what. Danny can't lose now. Danny, congratulations. You are the winner of today's match game by getting 2 in the first round. You don't even need your second round question, which means I don't need to read it,
But thanks, Memo.
which means I get to save it for next Wednesday.
Memo did good. It just
He did. No, he had
the
2
answers
first
are
answers.
hard, Memo.
First time for Memo.
Yeah.
He had 2 good answers.
Very
I
subjective.
will tell you, I thought question B was an automatic sweep. So,
Sweet.
yeah,
Okay.
it was an automatic
I
sweep.
do
So,
love a tease.
Yeah,
Save it
so
for next week.
that'll be, it won't necessarily be question B next week, by
All
the
right,
way.
good luck
It could
getting
be
your
A
match.
or
Gotta
B.
mix
See
it
if you
in,
can
you know?
find
Anyways,
it.
all
That's
right,
right.
Danny,
Let's super
you
match.
advance, my friend. You are already qualified now. You are in the drawing to go see Motley Crue. But now it's on to the bonus round and an opportunity to get 2 tickets to see San Diego FC take on St. Louis City SC at Snapdragon Stadium on Saturday night. This is Super Match. You are going to need to pick one of our 4 panelists, either Annie or Adam or Greg or Braden, to choose to go head-to-head against and match exactly. Who would you like to choose?
I will choose Braden.
All right, Braden.
Good, rational. Yeah.
Okay, guys, get your ESP together.
And-
I want your best answer to this. Blank zone. Blank zone. Stay right there, Danny. When he writes his in, I'll let you know.
None of us matter,
I'm just
right?
showing.
Yeah, no, this is
Just
just
for
Braden.
funsies.
This
This better be a match, by the way.
I'm locked in.
All right, Braden has his answer. Danny,
Let's get you some tickets.
what's your answer to blank zone?
The Crone Zone.
Yeah.
Crone zone.
I would have said strike zone, but go ahead.
I did.
Okay.
And Braden,
Red zone.
what do you
I
got?
put, and because we're going over the ABS, I put strike zone.
Strike zone.
Oh.
Strike zone.
Should have picked me. I had
Crone
Crone
zone
Zone.
was a great answer,
man.
though. That Crone zone was
It was a good answer.
a great answer. Yeah.
But Danny, stay on hold. We're going to make sure that Braden gets all your information to get you set up for Motley Crue. And I appreciate everybody on the All-Star panel coming together to play Match Game once again. It's always great to see your smiling faces.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg.
Greg, we missed you last week. Do something promotional right now.
Oh, thank you so much. We're gearing up for KSON Country Fest down at Petco Park, Gallagher
Ooh-wee.
Square. We're less than a month away.
Yeehaw.
March 22nd. Nate Smith, Warren Ziders, and Justin Moore. Relatively cheap ticket, all in. Come join us for a day of fun and country music.
Where can they get tickets, Greg?
KSON.com.
All right. We're back with hour number 4, including a live interview with Sam Levitt next on The Fan. Hour number 4 of Annie and Elsten on a Wednesday. Welcome back to it. Annie Halbern, Craig Elsten, Braden Soprenet, fresh off another entertaining match game. Always nice to save one question for Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Always great.
Roll over.
Psyched about that. Now, we did not give away the San Diego FC tickets because while he was champion, Danny did not follow through and win Supermatch. So that means we will be giving them away later this hour. So stay tuned. But right now, as we get ready to welcome Sammy Levitt onto the show, it is 1 o'clock now. I had to vamp for 30 seconds. It's 1 o'clock now.
Hang on.
Hang on. Hold
Yeah,
everything.
we gotta get the correct
updated.
biggest fan.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't remember if I did that today or not.
Okay. Is that right now?
No.
No.
Was that
it's not.
yesterday's?
I think so. Remember they were from Chula Vista. I remember that.
Vicia?
Vicia. I don't know.
Alex Vestia?
Alex Vestia.
He is now the mayor of Chula Vista.
Jake Cronenworth took him for a big time hit in the NLDS. I'll tell you that.
Yep. It's been a long time since that was the case.
Okay. Hang on. We're getting a new name. All right. Are they from that city?
They are, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Biased again. They're biased again. They're going on a run.
South Bay. Speak up.
Wait, what's her name?
Congratulations to today's biggest fan. It's Chris Doherty from Chula Vista. Chris.
Go ahead. Chris Doherty.
Give us a call back within the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973. You will qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game later this season. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. But Chris Doherty, Chula Vista, you have 10 minutes.
Charisma's husband.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was. 833-288-0973. These are randomly pulled.
I don't have any idea how this is happening behind the scenes. I would imagine randomly pulled. It's got to be. Yeah. But I don't do the pulling.
So. No pulling. Let's go to Sam Levitt while we wait to see if Chris Doherty calls in. Charisma, call your husband.
He's asking me for the number.
He's asking me for the number. That's
gotta
amazing.
Coordinate.
Stay tuned. Here comes Sam Levitt joining us from Peoria, Arizona. Getting ready to be a part of the afternoon show today as well. What's up, Sammy?
What's going on? I know Charisma. So Charisma, call your husband. Make sure he gets in contact with the station.
I think I have a feeling that it's going to come through. Charisma is that type of person that.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they don't call in on time. I'd be shocked.
I'm Chris. I'm calling it 109:30.
Well, Sammy, another beautiful day out there in Arizona. What have you been gleaning on the backfields? The action right now is at Camelback Ranch. It's 1-0 Padres through 3.5. But what was the scuttlebutt today, my friend?
Well, I just finished up lunch with Ben and Wood, so that was a highlight of my day and early afternoon. But on the ball field, most interesting thing that was going on today, aside from the Cactus League game, was Nick Pivetta threw his first live BP with the Padres and did one up-down. I don't know that I'd say it was 2 innings. I'm not totally sure how many pitches in total he threw. I wasn't charting it, but I don't know. I'd probably estimate somewhere between 20 and 30. Did have an up-down. He faced a grouping of minor leaguers, but he did face Fernando Tatis Jr. a few times, struck him out a couple of times, and then Fernando took him deep to straightaway center field on what was a pretty majestic ball. So got a little bit of everything, but Nick Pivetta throwing a live BP today. So that was probably the most notable thing. Kyle Hart threw in a simulated game yesterday, caught a little bit of that. And, obviously I'm sure you touched on Wes Benjamin getting signed yesterday, a depth move for the Padres and somebody that, you may see at some point during the year if they need to dip into that depth. So that's aside from the Cactus League games going on and, a pretty good lineup for a road game early on in Glendale today. That's about it as far as the live BPs and the simulated games, as far as what's going on the backfield.
Yeah, Sammy, Fernando Tatis Jr. missing a few days there with the flu.
Yeah.
How does he look? How does he feel? Did you get a sense of just his attitude back on the field now.
Yeah, and Annie, I'm happy you brought it up because I should have mentioned that in what's going on. Yeah, Fernando out on the field for a first time in a while today. I haven't been totally keeping track of how many days he hasn't been out there, but it's been a handful. I don't want to put a number on it because I'm not totally sure, but it's been a handful. And we haven't seen him around a ton, and obviously he was dealing with the flu. So it was very good to see him back out there. They made it very clear the last couple of days that they're going to give him a little bit of time to get his strength back. And today, a good example, he was, the only major league guy in that live BP against Nick Pivetta. So trying to get his timing back, trying to get him some at-bats before you throw him into a Cactus League game. I'd be surprised if he plays tomorrow, but could you see him, come Friday, Saturday, Sunday at some point? I think that probably is pretty reasonable, knowing Fernando and his athletic ability and how young he is, that he could bounce back pretty quickly. So he looked good. Swing looked good. Hit a ball very far against Pivetta. The BP looked good. He was smiling. All the usual stuff you see from Fernando. So he looked good. Good to see him out there, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him back, or I should say, make his Cactus League debut here in 2025. Probably some point Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd say that would be a pretty good bet.
Sammy, I guess it's part and parcel anytime you're in probably any team's spring training this time of the spring. There's going to be young arms that are, throwing live bullpens, throwing backfields, maybe appearing in very early Cactus League games that people are getting excited about. What else are the coaches going to say? Of course, they're going to say they're excited about them. So, with that little, tiny glass of cold water next to it, it's been genuinely intriguing to hear so many people talking about somebody like Bradley Rodriguez, like Pena, Net, some of the names that are in the lower system, but are actually showing big league quality to the staff.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's always an interesting part and an exciting part of spring training when you see these young arms that I think a lot of us hear about during the minor league season prior and start to shoot up the prospect rankings. And then you see them with your own two eyes on the backfields. And just to point out a couple of the names that you said, Rodriguez has drawn rave reviews. I think as a reliever, there's probably not a non-zero chance that you could see him up here at some point this year, just because, if he's getting guys out and he throws hard and the breaking stuff is there, who knows, right? I think him, Pena, are probably on the outside looking in as far as this bullpen on opening day, but that's kind of the next wave of Padre minor league relievers. If they do stay with the organization, and the Padres have certainly used a lot of those guys to go get bigger names via trade. But if they do end up coming up to the major leagues, I think it's going to be exciting. I've heard great things about Braden Net. I know he's impressed a lot of people in the backfield. He throws, pretty hard. And I think among the young minor league starters, he's certainly among the more exciting names and guys they're really high on. So it's one of the beauties of this time of year to see those guys. And Rodriguez has done a nice job in the Cactus League games. And, you start to get a sense that maybe he's not all that far away. So we'll see kind of what his season brings and where he starts and how he develops over the course of the year. But certainly when you're looking, I guess, at that next tier of relievers, and I don't mean talent wise, but I mean kind of in the system right now with where they are as far as readiness for the major leagues. I'd probably put Rodriguez, Pena kind of like that next wave of guys. Where you'd probably put a Jacob Reynolds, obviously kind of in the first wave of guys. But, we know how this works during the course of the season. You typically need a lot of arms to come up and get outs for a lot of different reasons. So it's good to see those guys and good to know they're down there, no doubt. And it's on my list. I'd like to talk to Bradley. I haven't yet. I'd like to talk to Pena. I haven't yet. And really get to know those guys a little bit better. So on my to-do list as we get a little bit deeper into spring.
Well, Sam, did you have a chance to talk to Wes Benjamin and find out what kind of opportunity this is for him? And on the flip side, how do you think that the team is viewing him? Is it reliever, starter, or unknown right now?
Yeah, I think he's depth. He's a starter. I believe he's going to be treated that way. I mean, he talked about it yesterday a little bit. One of the reasons he's here with the Padres in particular is because I believe they consider him a starter. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be at the major league level at the start of the year, but even if he's down at say, a AAA, I believe they view him as starter depth one way or another, and I think that's part of the reason he decided to sign with the Padres, maybe rather than go to another team where he may have been turned into a left-handed reliever. He talked about yesterday a lot of teams, as always, looking for left-handed relief help, and he just felt like he wasn't ready to turn the page on being a starter, so that's part of the reason. I think him and the Padres were a good fit because he wanted to be a starter. Padres were looking for more starting depth. Went to the KBO for 3 years. Pretty good numbers. They weren't quite Kyle Hart-esque numbers as far as that kind of dominance, but pretty good numbers. You know, he's not going to wow you with the numbers he had in his cups of coffee in the major leagues in 2020 and 2021, much like a lot of guys who come over from the international leagues. They've obviously worked on different things in his pitch mix and mechanics and all, those different types of elements. And now the question becomes, how does that play against major league hitters, against upper level minor league hitters? We're going to find out, but I believe they do view him as a starter, and I think he will provide some depth. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if he were to win the opening day roster, fifth starter spot. But I think he provides depth, and I think that's where he's going to kind of fit in.
Sammy, what is the rest of the afternoon and evening shaping up like for you? We were kind of speculating randomly that if you're a part of the afternoon show, maybe there's no Inside San Diego Baseball tonight. But you tell us. Okay, well, so what's going on then?
I will be on with Scraby at 2. I'll be on until Tony gets back from the game in Glendale when that's over. So I would imagine maybe sometime in the 4 p.m. hour we'll switch out. Tony will join the show, and then I'll take off. No Inside San Diego Baseball tonight. You are correct, because I think people have heard enough of me on the radio as of late and over the last few days.
Never
but
enough.
Yeah, I just I'll tell you, I had lunch with Ben and Woods and Paul.
Wait, Sammy.
At a night. Yes.
Where did you have lunch, and what did everyone get?
We went to a place called Chompy's, which is a deli.
Okay.
Chompy's, Chompies. Good deli. We went there last year.
Okay.
What did I have? I had a bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything big on home fries.
Oh, that's good.
Paulie had a Caesar salad.
Oh, very healthy.
I think Woodsy had some sort of chicken salad.
Oh, nice.
Situation, and then Ben had. What did he have? Oh, Ben had like a scramble of sorts, some sort of breakfasty egg scramble. Yeah, we had a good time. So second year we went there, and they did a great job this morning. I would highly encourage people, and maybe you've played some of it already, to go back and listen to those interviews. I've heard some of them. One of the ones that I did hear in person because I was sitting there was Luis Arise, and I thought Arise was terrific. Yeah. And it was a great interview, and they did a real nice job today. So good seeing those guys. And yeah, I'm gonna head back to the Airbnb, hop on with Scraby for a couple of hours, then we'll figure out the rest of the evening. Maybe some pickleball. I did that last night. I do need to go to Lululemon to do a little pants refresh.
Who are you playing pickleball with?
Yeah.
Just like randos, right? Like rando Arizona seniors.
There's quite a few people that
Correct.
play.
Yeah.
Over there in Padres land.
So I play a lot of. Well, that's true, Annie. Although last year we heard the pickleball a lot. I have not heard it with my ears because you can really hear. Pickleball is one of those games you can hear because you hear the ball against the paddle. I've not heard it this year, so I don't know if the pickleball is as widespread this year at Padres camp. But I went to I found 2 actually in Peoria. Both are very close to the complex. Just open play, drop in, whatever it is, 10, 11, 12 bucks. You can play for a few hours, line up your paddles. So did that a few times since I've been here. So maybe do that.
You need pickleball pants now? You need pickleball pants.
No,
okay.
No. These are unrelated.
Oh, okay. I thought they were very related.
There are, and this is not a Lululemon ad, but I would say that there are many, many people out there, including a lot of people that work at the ballpark in baseball, that swear by the Lululemon ABC.
I'm wearing them right now.
It's a big PR thing.
I'm
I
literally
believe.
wearing them
Yeah,
right now.
Swear by them.
Yeah,
I
they,
swear by
Swear
them
by
as well,
They are-
Sammy.
They are braided nose. They are just an excellent pant
Wow.
for work. You can dress them up. You can dress them down. And I haven't bought a new pair of those pants in a couple of years. And they stay
Slacker.
very nice, but if you wear them a lot, they do start to wear a little bit.
They'll fix them for you, Sam.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
can
that.
see them wear. Interesting. So I got to go to Lululemon. That's on my to-do list to refresh my pants. And what better place to do it than Arizona? I've got enough time to they tailor them for you, so I got enough time to have them tailored, get them back, take them home. So
This is
something
great.
I can do here. Yes. Very specific.
New pants makes it, you got a new skip in your step when you got new pants.
The pants make the man.
That's
They're
right.
so great.
Absolutely.
The ABCs are so
What they
great.
say.
They're great.
They say,
great.
big
They're great. They don't
shoes,
wrinkle. I mean, they
big
are.
pants.
They look nice, but on the inside they feel like sweats. It's the
Oh,
best.
wow. Do they
Yeah,
have
no,
them for females or are they just a male thing?
The ABCs
Yeah,
are
for
just a
those-
male
Okay.
thing. I can tell you what the ABCs stand for during the break.
Okay.
Wait, is it? Oh, I didn't even know that they're the ABC.
No, they stand for something, Sam, and that would be a technical foul.
Oh
Wow.
wow, Sam, I just looked it up. You're gonna wanna Google that on your break.
They stand for
Really?
something.
ABC's
Yes.
Lululemon. What do they stand for? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Anti.
But is that like that's just become a thing because the pants are called at Lululemon ABC pants.
Yeah.
Well, they're
ABC
trying to
pants.
say now that it means always be comfortable, but it has a
not what it
different
used-
name,
that's
right?
not what it was when
got
they
a
first
different
came
name.
out with them.
Right. They're becoming more politically
Yeah,
correct with
you
them.
can, but yeah, I'm sure the employees there know what it stands for. In fact, they used to have it on the signs.
Yeah.
The thing you hang
Wow.
on the Christmas tree,
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
anti-crushing of that.
Anti-crushing. The
Anti-crushing.
gusseted crotch area is more spacious
More
and
space.
offers more room for flexibility.
You didn't have to read the description.
Well, that's
All
three
right,
on
this
you,
is
Andy.
probably enough Lululemon, but
All right.
I
It's
appreciate that,
way
Sammy.
enough, but-
Sammy, I think it's
Viore would
exciting.
like to have a insert
Yeah,
into this.
Viore and
Viore wants to enter the
Aloe
chance. Enter the chat. Viore's
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
hey, I wear here's my thing right now. I do Lulu pants
Same.
and then the tops, polos, pullovers is mostly Viore. See, Viore's got me too. I'm using both.
You're a
I'm
slave to
dual
fashion.
athleisure customer.
You are a slave to athleisure fashion.
I wear a lot of.
You are.
I
you are-
really am.
Yeah,
I
you're
really
a prisoner
am.
of your own design.
right.
It's amazing. All right, Sammy, always great chatting to you. We'll talk on Friday, buddy.
Thanks,
All
Sammy.
right, sounds good. See ya.
Please enjoy your new pants.
We can ask him on Friday now
They're
about
so
his new
great.
pants.
I'm wearing some right now. Phenomenal. I have like 4 different colors in these.
Hmm.
So great. I'm hoping, the new.
Maybe I need to get a couple.
They're the rage.
They're the best. I wear them I have like some khaki ones for coaching. I wear them for broadcasting.
Yeah.
I do wear some Lulu stuff and I have to buy that. I bear that since getting USD stuff is very difficult for me, aside from the baseball team, because they give me free stuff, which is awesome. I have to, Lulu does have a lot of Torero blue color stuff.
Ah.
So that's a big perk for me to be able to buy some, and it's
Yeah.
good. It's like a dressy cash for
Mhm.
broadcasting.
You feel like
which
you
is
could wear
great.
it and still look professional.
Yes,
but you're
absolutely.
not overdressed
And I feel
underdressed,
comfortable,
right? Yeah.
which is great. Now, I don't know if they can make this happen or not, but the new CEO of Viore is a USD grad.
Yeah, San Diego people.
I think they
write
gotta.
for Viore. Yeah.
We got to make some Torero blue Viore stuff, and then
Mhm.
I'll flip. I'm open.
But will
I'm
they
a free
have
agent.
the ABC features?
Apparently, they got pants that are like the same.
All right. Well.
People say, I think the golf team at USD wears that, but not sure.
Well, cool, guys. Good on you. Let's take a time out. The interview that Sam Levitt said was so good that he heard in person. You're going to hear it next. Luisa Rise with the boys on the back patio. Stay tuned. Padres coverage continues on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. 124 on the Fan. Annie and Elsten back with you. Luis Arraez, first full season with the San Diego Padres. Let's hope it's not his last. He is a free agent at the end of the year, acquired by trade late last April. Or was it beginning of May? I think it was the very first week of May.
Why did you say his name like Davy Jones?
Arraez.
Hey, matey, ahoy.
Luis Arraez. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Regardless, he was on with the boys this morning. Don't forget, Ben and Woods are live at Padres Spring Training tomorrow, Friday as well. 3 full days out there. They've got another amazing slate of guests set for tomorrow, which means our eco-friendly show, 50% created by recyclable material, we'll have plenty of great new interviews for you tomorrow, too. And we'll show up and be like, what'd you do for us, Ben? What'd you do for us, Woodsy? What'd you do for us, Paulie? Nonetheless, heard this one was a real gem. I didn't get to hear it earlier, so looking forward to it. Here's Luis Arraez with Ben and Woods.
Joining us right now is the 3-time Major League batting champion, the defending National League batting champion. Luis Arraez is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Luis, it is a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us here on Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Thank you for having me here. So I'm glad to be here with San Diego Padres. And especially it's my first year here in Arizona, you know.
Yeah.
So I enjoy so far. So this is cool weather too. So.
It's great weather. It's an honor to meet you. I mean, there's 2 things I want to talk to you about, and it's 2 of my favorite things in the world. Paris, where you just went, and hitting. My 2 favorite things in the world. and I know we heard your story. You know, you had the surgery in the off season.
Yeah.
First of all, you're feeling great. You're looking great at the dish. But you said you took a vacation. Your first vacation. Now, your first vacation ever anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, especially to Paris.
Yeah.
With my wife. We celebrate his birthday there, and then finally I was relaxed there for the first time in my life.
You relaxed the first time you left. I felt that way last year. I went to Hawaii, and it was the first time I felt like I relaxed in 30 years. But how amazing was Paris?
Oh, it's amazing, especially the holiday. The only thing I don't like there is the food.
You didn't like the food?
No, I don't like the food.
I love the food there.
I mean, I try to look for
even the bread. Come on, the bread was good.
The bread is the best. I mean, with coffee. But I mean, I try to order some steak there, and I say, "Oh my gosh, I can't find it, man." I was so hungry, and then my wife ordered a couple of seafood there.
Yeah.
I say,
"No.
Hey, bring me bread." So I eat bread. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Paris out of the way. Let's talk hitting, man. I to watch you hit every day is truly an honor. It really is. It's amazing, and the work that you put in the off season. So just kind of tell us a little bit about your approach every day when you get up to the plate. Do you study the opposing pitchers a lot? Do you put in a lot of video work and things like that?
Yeah, especially when I go to bed. I watch the video from like today I hitting. I go to my house and I sit in my bed. I just start and watch my video. You know, when you watch video, you see your routine. You say, hey, you do this good. You did bad things. I don't know, but the other days I come early. I do my routine every day with Victor, with anybody there in the batting cage, and I love to do my team work. If I don't do my team work, I'm out.
Well, it's funny because I had heard from somebody in baseball that there's a couple of organizations right now, I won't name any names, that have actually pulled all of the tees out of their facilities. Big league teams have pulled the tees. They don't want their guys hitting off the tee anymore. And you're the first person I thought of because I saw how much tee work you put in. It's so important. I got 2 little boys that play baseball. They live on the tee. You have to be on the tee every single day. Why is it so important for you?
It's important because anybody move the tee. Because when you hit a flea from the coach,
yep,
they not a perfect. They throw everywhere, you know. So if you put the tee inside, the tee anybody move.
Right.
You just put the ball, hit the ball. You put the tee outside, anybody move. You go the other way. That's why I like the tee too. And especially you don't try to do too much when you see the tee. But when you don't use the tee, what you can do? Put the ball, hit and fly balls. You don't got any routine. I mean, I want to fade that thing. Don't use the tee.
Sure. Yeah. It's pretty amazing when I heard that story. I couldn't believe it. I thought we don't need to outsmart the game of baseball because, one of the best hitters on the planet, if not the best hitter on the planet, nobody puts the bat on the ball better than you do. He uses the tee every day.
Yeah.
We should all be using the tee every day if you're a baseball player.
I mean, I want to fade that team. Don't use the T. I mean, I want to fade those guys.
Yes.
I mean, if San Diego Padres say,
No more
tea? Don't use the T. I mean, I don't come anymore. I don't come anymore because, I mean, it's my strong part, you know?
Yeah.
Use my routine. If I don't do my routine because I'm tired, no.
Yeah.
Why you put excuse? I go to the cage. I just try to hit the ball to the middle, move my tee, do five swings, and that's like 15 swings. You'll be fine.
I love it.
We're talking to Luis Ariz here on 97.3 The Fan. And obviously, Luis, you were pretty dang good last year. You won a batting title, but you were dealing with that thumb injury for much of the season. How much did it impact you, and how different do you think things will be this year now that you're feeling healthy?
I mean, last year was a tough year for me, especially Miami trained me. And then I'll be honest, I was a little scared because the timing is changed here. And then I feel in bottom of the fifth inning, I feel sleepy. And then it's not at me.
It's just late.
It's late. I say, oh my gosh, I feel so tired. Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I watch the pitch. I say, oh my.
You also get sleepy in the fifth inning,
I get
too.
sleepy in the fifth inning, too, bro.
The timing is changed, you know. So, yeah, but I'm enjoying a lot. I'm enjoying a lot of my part here. And I mean, I'm glad to be San Diego Padres. And then especially when the team received me, they opened the door for me. I say, wow, I got a big opportunity. And I go play. That's what I need to do. And then when I break my thumb, my ligament, I say, okay, you need to be strong. I don't want to put excuse because I miss a lot of pitch middle. No, I put my mind strong and say, okay, if Imani play her, if Tatis play her, I can do that too. Why
That's
not?
amazing. That's
So,
amazing.
I'm a team man. I'm a teamwork. So if everybody play hard, I'm going to play hard.
I would watch you hit last year, and you'd swing, and it would just be immediate like this, and it's so hard to do even with two good hands. Hitting the baseball is still so hard at this level, I would imagine. To watch you grind through it, I think a lot of the fan base really respected that about you. And I wanted to ask you too, there's a lot of good young hitters in there as well, guys like Jackson Merrill. How much do you guys work together? Does he ask you questions about your approach to certain pitchers and how he handles ABs?
Yeah, hand way. They try to hit the ball the other way. And I say, hey, if you hit the ball the other way, you got maybe 3 hits every day, you know, because you stay inside to the ball. And then especially Jackson, he got a lot of power, man.
A lot of power.
I say, bro, just find a barrel. Try to hit the ball to the middle left field. If you got the power, I hit it the other way every time. I mean, I still do that, but not with the power. So the only thing I say to those guys, I say, hey, don't try to do too much. Don't try to do too much. Just go there, hit the ball, and then don't push too hard.
Luis, you seem like such a positive person. There's a TV show called Ted Lasso about a soccer coach. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's just all about being positive. And I wanted to know, where do you think you got that? You know, growing up in Venezuela, and I don't know what the outside perception of Venezuela is like. You know, it can be it's dangerous. It's whatever going on. Where did that positivity come from when you were growing up?
I think my mom. My mom gave me she support me a lot. And then she did everything for me. She said, hey, let's go to the training. Let's go hit the ball. Let's go do whatever you want to do to get better. And then she's always do everything good for me. And then I wanna be better every day. If you not got energy, what you can do? You need a smile. You need to enjoy this game. This game is hard. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's hard. You need to enjoy them, you know. So everybody throw 100% every day. They throw hard. They throw, 1 or 2, and then if you're serious, you don't enjoy this game, you'll be out.
It's such a long season, you know. It's such a grind of a season for you guys, and you know, different opponents, different pitchers. For you, the preparation and the routine is something that you talk about a lot. What is it like in August, in September? And you've played on some teams that weren't great, right? And you were kind of out of it, but you still carried yourself like a pro. Still went out and got your knocks every day. How hard is that to do in August and September after you're tired?
Yeah, it's hard, but it's my job, so I have to do that. You know, I bring my little bat to my hotel room every day. I do my team work. I don't got balls in my hotel room, but I just put the tee. I just close my eyes and then boom, do my routine like somebody throw the ball to me. and then I'll be ready to the stadium.
Yeah.
And then I got a lot of chance to take a nap, So
I love a nap. Are you a napper?
Yeah,
I'm a napper too.
I mean,
I gotta get
you know
one
who
in.
teach me?
Who?
Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz said you got to get a
Cruz.
nap.
Nelson teaches everybody everything.
He does.
Yeah, I know.
He does.
So, Luis, I don't know this, but we're friends with Skip Schumacher.
Yeah,
when he
it's our
used to
guy.
be here. When you were traded, he told us you were going to love him.
He said
so
you're
he was
gonna love
so
him.
sad to lose you.
He
It was
was.
like you were going to love him so much. But we have a request for you. Woods actually
Oh, yeah. I have
has
one.
a request, and he wants to know if you will do the first base coach on his chest. And
Okay.
Sammy, can you
Okay.
can you get the video out, because you do it hard. You've seen it every time Luis Ariz gets a base hit. See us, the first base coach gets it. You just here, get to first base. Yeah, here it comes. He's going to first base, and there you go. And
Hey, that was low energy, but
that was low energy.
So pick up the microphone and explain when did that start? Why did you start doing that?
Macias gets like 200 of those a year, dude,
Hey.
right in the chest.
And then I'm starting with the first base coach from Minnesota.
Yeah.
In 2022, I saw him like sleeping there. I said, okay, I need to get on base.
Get up.
And then I get 2 RBIs because I fake one Grinky, I think.
Yeah.
With bases loaded. I get land drive with the changer, and then I hit him. I said, okay, I'm start do this.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
at bat, again, and then I don't stop. And then 2023 with John Jay, he got a lot of energy, man.
He does. Yes, he does.
And then he got energy, I got energy, and he loved that. And then when I get here, Macias, you need to be ready. You need to be ready, man, because
it's coming.
Hey, I'm coming hard to you, man. And then he like it, man. I just want to bring the energy to my teammates too. So they love that.
I remember your first game. I mean, remember his first game as a San Diego Padre?
And then I was at the home game, the walk-off in the home game.
The walk-off
was
in the home game was
amazing.
just
It was
absolutely
so fun.
incredible.
What a night that was.
It was amazing. The energy you brought.
Hey, I'm
the
sorry,
clubhouse.
man. I'm
No,
sorry.
dude, I want it again.
You-
I want it again.
Okay.
I want 220 of those this year, man. Every time you get one, I'm going to get one too. I'm going to bring that into my little league. I'm going to bring that into my little league. Let those kids do it.
It doesn't hurt when a 6-year-old does
No,
it.
it doesn't hurt when a 6-year-old does it. But thank you so much. It's such an
Luis.
honor to meet you, man. Pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Cheering for you as always.
right.
Luis Ariz going for a 4th straight batting title this year.
Well, you know what? It lived up to all of the positive reviews. What a great interview.
How do you not love talking to this guy and being around him? This is how he is every single day. And that's why, like, when you talk about him being a part of the clubhouse or setting the tone, this is how he is. He's not faking it. You know, this is the guy he is. Whether he's doing good, whether he's doing bad, that's how he comes in the clubhouse, and that's how he is for his teammates. And he just puts you in a good mood. And look at how much he loves his craft. I mean, you got to appreciate the respect of someone who loves their craft that much.
At Camelback Ranch, it's 1-0 Padres going to the bottom of the 6th. San Diego got outfielder Forrest Wall to third base with nobody out, and then a young lefty named Hagen Smith struck out Leo DeVries, Ethan Salas, and Connor Joe back to back to back. Just bink, 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 and got out of the inning. So 1-0 to the bottom of the 6th. Great stuff, Luis Ariz.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you. Plenty more coming tomorrow and Friday from Ben and Woods Live, and then we will recycle all the best stuff for you here on Annie and Elsten. When we come back, our final segment, it's time to ask us anything. We're going to open up the phones right now. 833-288-0973. Give you a chance every show to give us a call. It's right now. 833-288-0973. Give us a ring during the break. We'll put you on hold. We'll get you on the air. You have 12 minutes to call the show. If you do in the next 12 minutes, we will put you on. All we ask is that you have a question ready to ask the program. Ask us anything. Wraps things up. Gwen and Chris, top of the hour, right here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Wrapping things up on this particular edition of Annie and Elsten. We will all be back tomorrow. A full 4-hour program. As mentioned, more Ben and Woods interviews coming up tomorrow. Let's see. We can probably guess. I'm guessing Manny comes Friday.
I think Manny makes him wait till the last day.
Yeah, I think Manny's a Friday guy. Connor Joe tomorrow.
Maybe Jason Hayward.
Yeah, I could see that. Jackson. I bet you Jackson is tomorrow. That's a pretty good guess. Xander, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe like a Michael King or a
I was literally just thinking Michael, one of the two, and then the other one on Friday. Probably, maybe Pivetta. That I'd love. Have we really even heard from Nick Pivetta at all?
Not so much. Well, the first day that he was here, he signed with the Padres. He did a little scrum.
Yeah,
did a little scrum, but not since then.
Yeah, well, I'd like some more Pivetta information. I want to hear from the Canuck.
Yeah,
from Nick Pivetta. So we will bring you the best of all of that tomorrow. It's a fun thing for us to do in the morning. Is just find out who they have on and then go, yep, let's do that. Cool. So also tomorrow, we will start to dig into what's going on this weekend with San Diego FC. I don't know if you guys saw. First off, Anders Dreyer was named the first, essentially, player of the week.
Yeah.
They call it man of the match day.
Right.
As opposed to player of the week. But
like out of the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Best player in the league that week. Anders Dreyer for his 2 goals, his brace. That's a soccer term for you. 2 goals is a brace.
A brace.
A brace.
Why?
Don't know.
Okay.
Actually, don't know. Don't know why, but it is. And then, of course, 3 is a hat trick. But 2 is a brace.
A brace. I did not know that.
A brace of goals means 2 goals.
Why? Like,
don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to.
2 goals.
A
brace of goals sounds like so. Doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound right?
But I guess if you watch soccer a lot, it sounds perfectly right.
Why are 2 goals called they jumped right up on Google search. The word brace originates from Old English, where it meant a pair of something.
Okay.
Often used to describe a pair of hunted animals.
So you could say a pair of goals, or
you could say a pair of goals, but you could also say a brace of goals.
Well, this is good lingo for our listeners. Go out there and use the brace in your vernacular.
Little added something along the way. So coming up tomorrow, one of the studio hosts of MLS Season Pass's MLS 360 on Apple TV, Sasha Klestjan, former LA Galaxy player. He will be joining us tomorrow, and we'll get his thoughts on everything that's going on with San Diego FC, getting ready for their big home debut on Saturday, which they say will have the biggest crowd in the history of Snapdragon Stadium. To which the Waves say, we'll see about that. We'll see if it's true. Meanwhile, in Camelback Ranch, Ryan Auk came in and gave up a homer. So it's 1-1. Now, I don't care about spring training results. And as we know, all spring training stats that are good are virtuous and real. All spring training stats that are bad are silly, meaningless, and why are you paying attention? But the White Sox, the 121-loss White Sox, are currently 0 for the Cactus League. They're 0-5.
Oh, they just haven't gotten that much-needed W.
You don't really want to be the first team to lose to the White Sox.
Yeah.
Well, you're the first team that lost to the Dodgers.
Well, that's true.
The White Sox, and I know it's spring training, it means nothing, but they did get beat by the Rockies 14-3 yesterday. I feel like just because you're the White Sox, it just hits extra hard, like it hits different, even though it's spring training, doesn't count. But we'll see. Maybe they're defeated by the Will Venable White Sox. Good story in the UT today about Will Venable and Bud Black mentoring him and all his time in San Diego.
All right, we got a few minutes left in the show. Let's keep those phone lines open. 833-288-0973. Give us a call right now. Let's hit the bumper. (833-288-0973). YouTube chat also available. if you would like to drop us a question, ask us anything. Here is Mark, who just called in. Hi, Mark. Ask us anything. Hello.
Neil.
Hey, Mark.
All right, Mark.
No,
Cheers,
just
man.
kidding.
Well, Neil in San Carlos,
Enjoy
though,
your day, Mark.
he understands the assignment. Hi, Neil. Ask us anything.
Hey guys, I have a question for everyone. But before my question, what happened to those tickets?
Yeah, what did happen
What
to
did
those
happen to those
tickets,
damn
Neil?
tickets?
That's a great question.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want them?
Uh-oh.
Do you want them?
Yes, please.
You called. You asked.
Can you do that?
Yes.
My question's even soccer related.
Okay.
My question is for everyone. Who do you think will have a bigger fan base, more support, more rabid fan base in 2025? San Diego FC or those former dirtbags that are renting in SoFi?
Ooh.
Well, if you don't have any fans,
yeah,
then how can you be rabid if you don't exist? I'm gonna go San Diego FC.
I'm gonna go San Diego FC on this
There's
one.
no such thing as
Sorry,
a-
I know
there's
there's
no such thing as a Chargers fan.
Chargers listeners, but the San Diego FC's got a nice little fan base so far.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to.
I honestly don't pay attention anymore to how many people show up
That's
in
it.
LA. I have no idea.
I don't want to be
You know?
unfair, and I'm sure there's a goodly number of LA Chargers fans.
I like being unfair with this. It's funny.
I know.
They get so triggered. I don't need to root for your team, and I can make fun of your team. And if you don't like it, well, play better.
Neil Stanhold.
I don't know. Yeah, see how we could do that.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think that right now, just being completely fair and honest, I think that the supporter culture of San Diego FC is being held up as the fan culture of SDFC. And those are two different things.
But aren't the supporters fans?
Yes, but no. Supporters are, I know it sounds like the same thing. Once you're in it, you'll get it. The supporters are not there to be fans of the team. The supporters are there to provide energy to the team, to be an
Isn't
asset.
that being a fan?
Yeah, hang on. Wait a second. They're
when
not there
all
to
those
be
Padres fans that
fans?
fill up Petco Park and wave their towels, aren't they providing energy to the
A
team
fa-
as fans?
This is how it was described to me many years ago. A fan of the team comes to the game,
Uh-huh.
cheers for the team, buys apparel,
Okay.
buys a drink, right? Enjoys the game, goes home. The supporters plan, create chants, create songs, create choreographed actions. They come before the match. They set up the section.
That sounds like the major fandom to me. Like they are absolutely supporting their team. Like
And during the match, they aren't watching the match as much as they are performing for the stadium. So trust me when I tell you, having been in the supporters section so many times at 109
Yeah.
at Torero, many, many times I have been at the match, looking at the field, couldn't tell you the score or couldn't tell you exactly what happened. Had to go back afterwards.
Yeah.
Find out what happened because there's flags waving in front of your face. There's smoke bombs going off. There's
wow.
chants happening. There's drums banging. There's everything going on. What a supporter does is they take some of their experience that they're paying for and they sacrifice that. They give up actually locking in on the game, which is what a fan is doing. A fan is watching the game, locking in. A supporter is there to sing the song, there to do the chant, there to do the, and to help create the atmosphere. And then later they find out what happened.
Normal Heights in the chat says there is a culture after one game. Touche, Normal Heights. You are correct. They got to build that culture, but I still think that they've got interest. I don't know how much interest that I think you're comparing apples to oranges too. I think if you compare it to when the Chargers first went to LA, I think you're probably more in the right realm.
Yeah. But in terms of
cares,
how
though,
many,
honestly? Like, no offense to our caller.
No, not at all. And I'm really not trying to be like pedantic or anything, or like just what I'm saying is those 2,000 people, the 2,000 people that have signed up for the Independent Supporters Union, those 2,000, they have a different remit. They have a different commitment to the person who just bought a ticket on Ticketmaster.
So if I ask
to
those
go to the game.
supporters, like I'm like standing in line at Albertsons and I'm like, oh, you're a supporter. I'm like, are you? So you're a fan of the team? They would say no.
They would say that they're more than a fan, that
Okay.
they're an ultra.
I think they're an ultra fan, right? They're a super
Yeah,
fan.
they're an ultra. That's it seems like a small thing, and then but I think you'll see it.
Okay, I
when
will.
you see it in
I will.
person.
I look forward to
I think
that.
you'll understand it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today. Neil, enjoy the match.
Neil, wow, you got lucky today. Your lucky day, Neil.
Yeah, and that
Go
didn't
buy a
make the
lottery
chat
ticket.
happy, but you're good. It's Scraby with Sammy next.